Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 2 of Tarot Tales.
So exciting to be back. Thank you for holding down the fort a little bit while I was gone there, Heather.
I tried. I tried. We're gonna get into all of that here today soon, but in case you guys are just tuning in and maybe you're just discovering us for the very first time for season 2, my name is Heather from Shadow and Shine.
And my name's Kelsey of Soul Light Affirmations, and it's great to be back.
Yeah, it is. It is so much fun to be back. So, we were on hiatus for like in total like a little over a month.
Mhm.
So, I filled in with like 2 bonus episodes that I did all by myself, and then my life kind of fell apart for a little while. So, I was just like, "You know what? As long as we're between seasons, I'm just not going to be on here for the time
You needed a
being."
break too. We needed a little
Yeah.
hiatus completely. So, but good for you
Yeah.
for doing 2 episodes on your own, carrying it like awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No, I tried, and I feel like the ones that I did were very good and
From the
helpful.
heart. Hmm.
Yes, and I also want to shout out Mongolia and Romania. So, thank you guys because I still get the podcast update emails on where we stand in the rankings in different countries all across the globe. And during the time that we took off between seasons, I honestly did not think we were going to be on the charts anywhere at all, that we were just going to plummet. But this entire time, we're still charting in Romania and Mongolia. So thank you
Wow.
guys.
Thank you for hanging on, and we're back. So, hooray. Like that's
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing. We have some was it dedicated listeners out there. And I see Ron says, "Hello everyone. Welcome back." Hi Ron. Good to see you.
Yes. Welcome back, Ron. Good to see you too. So yeah, good times.
Good time.
Anyways, so today we're keeping it pretty light. We're just gonna be catching up with you guys, kind of fill you in on what we've been doing over the past few weeks, and just kind of opening the road up here for a delightful season 2.
Nice catch up chitty chat. Keep it casual.
Yes,
Ease back in.
we're still gonna be doing some card pulls. We're still gonna be talking astrology, so all that stuff is still up on deck. So don't go anywhere. Speaking of which, shall we dive into our card pull for the week to fill people in on the energy? What's happening?
Let's do it. Let's do
Yeah, I see more people are entering in on the chat
it.
too.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Bodhi
So
says,
hello to
"Hello.
Bodie Taylor. Yes,
Hi,
hello.
Bodhi."
We are well. Welcome, welcome, welcome all. So, would you like to pull cards first, Kelsey? You got them
Yeah,
in your hand, so
I got them ready. So I did something a little different. I'll still pull a card for the collective, a few cards for the energy for the week ahead. But I thought
yeah,
because you did I thought because you did a May reading for Pick a Crystal, I would do a little
yes,
June message from the fairies.
I love that.
Okay. All
Go
right,
for it.
let's do it. So take a moment. Let's get centered. We have 2 cards here. So we have card 1 and card 2, card 1 and card 2 right here. And so if you're listening, pick either 1 or 2 if you can't see. And if you're in the comments, drop the number you pick, 1 or 2. And message from the fairies for June, and we'll get started. So card number 1, this is the message from the fairies for June. We got magical blessings. So it says, whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy blessings, and the fairies say you can bless others too. So magical blessings coming your way. And what I'm seeing here, especially right here, is the fairies, is their hands are open. They're reaching up towards the sky. They're ready for the abundance to come in. And this is kind of a reminder to enjoy the magic in the everyday moments as well. Many things can be a blessing. Like anything could be a blessing, right? It could be waking up in the morning in a warm bed. It could be having a fridge full of food, which me and Heather talked about today. It could be having
Mhm.
your favorite foods. It could be going for a walk with the person you love. Card number 2, stargazing. This is so those of you who picked card number 2, the message is when you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. And I feel like this really ties in, especially when Heather talks astrology. I feel like you're going to really want to tap in. If you pick card number 2, really listen to the transits going on this week, because when we look to the stars, that is a form of divination, right? That is, it's a way of kind of understanding life, and the stars reflect what's going on in the sky, reflects what's going on within us as well.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's your message, stargazing. And if you want, go look out at the stars tonight if you're able to, if you're in a place where it's clear and beautiful. But those are your June messages from the fairies. We had card 1, magical blessings. So get ready to receive, and also know that you can bestow blessings on others too. You have that magic as well. And then card 2, you got stargazing, time to pay attention to the stars. So let me know in the
I
comments,
love
Ron.
that.
You picked number 2. So, Ron, you're going to want to pay attention to the astrology transits for sure. And just gaze at the stars, Ron. What did you pick, Heather?
You know what? I was just taking it in, honestly.
Yeah.
I
Which
was like,
one
I'm just
jumped
gonna
out
take
at
it
you?
in. Um, Probably the first one. The first one.
Probably the first one.
Yeah.
Magical blessings.
Yes. Magical blessings. So I love that. I see we have a lot of activity. I see a lot of flames.
I see that too. We've definitely got some visitors.
Well, we have an interesting comment here. Blessings are from God, not sorcery. Well, we're not doing sorcery here, actually. Um, so God, it's funny because there's a lot of different titles for God. You know, there's God, source, creator, spirit. There are many different titles is what it comes down to, but I think a lot of us here are pretty much on the same page that there is definitely a higher being, something bigger out there than just us, that's not just like darkness out there, that there's definitely more to life than meets the eye.
That's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Whatever you call it, whatever you believe, we're open here. And that's what,
Yeah, we
yeah.
have someone saying Jesus is king. Honestly, I agree. Like, Kelsey and I have had conversations about this before, and we both love Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus is awesome.
Yeah.
We're not fans of religion per se, rules and regulations, but we are fans of relationship with Jesus because he
Mhm.
was all about love, and we are big believers in that as well.
I love the teachings. I love the teachings for sure. I grew up in a Catholic school, so I have those teachings, right? And absolutely. Thank you, Heather. That was
Yes.
beautifully said.
Yes, and thank you, Bodie Taylor. We keep saying that they've subbed, so thank you. We appreciate that.
Woohoo, Bodie. Thank you. Um,
Yes.
well, should I pull an energy card for the week ahead? Let's do that.
Yeah, yeah, pull an energy card as well. I have some cards to pull too for the upcoming week, but yes, bring on something for the week ahead, but we
All
love
right.
those June messages
So,
for the
yeah,
start
June
of the
messages from
month.
the fairies. And let's do a card for the collective for the energy of the week ahead. I was looking at the astrology. It looks so interesting, Heather. I'm so excited to hear what your take
Yeah,
is on
yeah.
what's.
Thankfully, it doesn't seem like there's anything too heavy. I know in the past we've definitely talked about some really heavy duty stuff. Aries season was a little
The red
wild.
flags.
Yes, and I have it here. We have our unofficial red flag. It says, for those of you who can't see it, if you're listening on one of the audio podcasts, it says, "I don't have red flags. I have fun facts."
So, for those of you who've been listening and remember Aries season, that red flag card kept popping out, but that kind of summed up Aries season. It was
It really
the
did. It really
astrology.
did. Yeah.
But this is beautiful energy. So, okay, we got number 38, the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. And with this
Oh,
card, we got Archangel Raphael. So, Archangel Raphael is the angel of relationships. And what's so funny, Heather, is you talked about we're a big fan of relationships here, right?
yes.
So, we just
Yes.
mentioned that, but this is about keeping your heart open, healing, working on heart healing, whatever that means to you, and keeping your heart open to love and connection and saying yes to things. But I'm feeling like a lot of you would benefit from rose quartz this week, wearing rose quartz, or even just wearing the color pink or green. Those are really beautiful heart chakra cards. Love it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a rose for those of you who can't see. Because I know we have our audio only listeners as well. But this is a dragonfly, a rose quartz dragonfly. So
It's
love
beautiful.
that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. I'm going to read the affirmation. I was just looking at our comments here. There's some interesting comments. Let's see here. So, Archangel Raphael, love, compassion, self-acceptance. And the affirmation is, my heart center, my fourth chakra, is open to its perfect, healthy, and joyful state. The energy of love flows through me now. I live in love. That's your affirmation for the week ahead.
Oh, I love that. And what's so funny, I'm going to pull a couple cards in a minute here, but before I do, when I was looking at this rose quartz dragonfly, I have a couple of other crystals next to it, and they both remind me of someone who is coming into Kelsey's life soon.
So
it's a little
cute.
doggy.
It's a little doggy.
I know. I have like several of them. Like I don't even remember what the purple one is. I don't know. I don't remember what that one is. But this one is a clear quartz.
That's so cute. It looks like my doggy.
It does. It
Yeah.
looks like a lab.
Yeah.
I wish I actually no, I do have a Chihuahua one, but it's on my coffee table. It's an obsidian one. It's all black. So obviously I got it that way on purpose.
Very Chihuahua, as your Chihuahua specifically.
Mine specifically. And then I have one more here. And funny enough, I remember where I got this one. This one's a Jasper dog.
Okay. Oh.
And I actually got this from Pratt Daddy Crystals.
Spencer Pratt. I swear, Pratt. Like we've talked about the Pratts, like and Heidi Monte. Like we've talked about them, but like
yes, we have.
Like, oh my goodness, like yeah, we'll get into that maybe in a future episode. Maybe there'll be a future episode. I know
we'll have to do maybe a weird pop culture spiritual mixture kind of episode. It's coming. There's a lot of interesting things happening with the Pratts right now anyways because of his run for mayor in LA.
Yes.
So maybe that's what we should do. I mean, we're totally just like brainstorming future episodes with you guys right now, but you guys can let us know too if you would like to hear this. Maybe we'll pull some cards and do like a reading, pull up maybe Spencer's birth chart if I can find like his birth time and stuff, and maybe we can look into what could be coming up for him in this mayoral
who knows
race.
Could be a lot of fun, right? We could do pop culture. We could do like at the end of the episode we're going to be talking more about what's coming and what people want to see.
Exactly. So if any of that does interest you, definitely let us know. You can let us know in the chat here on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, drop a comment there or leave us a comment on any of our socials. We are all ears.
Love it. As always.
So, yes. Okay. I'm going to pull some cards now. And now that we're back and it's June, I know it's not quite the summer solstice yet, but I'm going to pull some summer oracle cards from my summer oracle card deck.
Perfect.
So I just got to open this little case thing for it. I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with this deck. It's a really fun deck, but the cards are like astronomical.
They're massive. That's hard to shuffle, hey?
It is. It's kind of a challenge. Let me see. There, just throw that down there. All right, I'm going to move this microphone out of the way so I can properly shuffle. Like I can't, like I have to shuffle them vertically. That's the only way I can really do.
Oh my gosh, they're even bigger than I thought.
I know. It's a little insane.
You look tiny. Like
they're giant. Actually, I'm gonna move this too. I may just kind of like spread them out on the desk and then just like pull cards, but I do want to give them at least a little bit of a shuffle here, just to mix the energy up. So if you're someone who likes big decks and you cannot lie, you other mothers can't deny, then you need to get this deck is called Spicy Summer. So it truly is spicy.
Spicy.
Okay. Oh, okay. We got
there we
one that
go.
fell. So I am going to take that one, but I'm going to spread the rest of them. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with this guy here. And this is funny because this is actually the end of summer that we got here. We have Virgo season. So Virgo season, I know we usually think of like the fall with that, but Virgo technically is still summer.
Summer.
It is. It's technically still summer, even though that is like the end of August, beginning of September, like around that Labor Day area and everything, because the autumn equinox does not start until Libra season kicks off. So something is being brought to our attention this week in regards to the end of summer. So something you guys need to pay attention to. I would say also pay attention to the things that coincide with Virgo season. So Virgo season is all about the sixth house. Try and say that like 6 times. Sixth house. That is associated with health, work, and pets. Also, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So there could be something on deck dealing with communication involving that. But let me just kind of spread these cards this way. There we go. So see, they're all right there. And we're just going to draw one right from the very middle. Summer theater. So performances. Maybe somebody not being exactly who they say they are, putting on some kind of show this week. So there could be someone putting on some kind of show. They could be communicating something that maybe they shouldn't be communicating. And you may not necessarily see the truth be revealed about the situation until Shadow and Tinkerbell bark outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they're
barely. The mic is really quite good.
Yeah,
they're pretty loud now.
Yeah, they're losing it. They want to communicate. They're like, oh, Mercury.
Well, and for those of you who are new, Heather's like that's our like what are they? Our co-producers.
Yes.
Heather's chihuahuas.
Yeah, little mascots here. So the window is open. They're scoping things out. They're being the bodyguards, the bouncers here, making sure no one's interrupting the podcast other than them. Soon we're going to have a third member though to that team, which we're going to get to as well. But yes, so really pay attention to communication this week. Somebody may be telling some sweet little lies. I almost feel like the truth with that situation will not necessarily be revealed until the end of the summer. So just kind of look out for that as a heads up. So be observant. Don't fall for anything some random riffraff tells you. So that's what I got for you guys. Yes.
Advice. Use your discernment.
Yes, for sure. You're not going crazy on certain things. All right, move this big deck out of the way, and then we can get into some astrology. Oh my goodness, I don't even know where to put this thing. It's so big. It needs its own table.
It's massive. You said it was big, and I was like, oh, and then you started shuffling, and I was like, holy.
Well, uh-oh. Oh, I just accidentally disconnected myself.
Yeah, you're good. I can hear you.
Okay. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I'm like, I lost my audio. Anyways, yeah, when I was creating that deck, I use the company makeplayingcards.com to print all of my decks. And there's lots of different like types of decks that you can use, that you can print. They do have like the traditional tarot size, which I use quite a lot for my decks. But for that one, I saw that there was like, I don't know, it was like giant jumbo size or something like that. And I was like, well, let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. And I was like, I would rather do that with a seasonal deck that is only gonna be used, like, maybe around one particular time of the year than something that people are gonna be using all year long in case I absolutely hated the
It
size.
was experimental.
It
Experimental.
was.
And we
It
know
was.
now, no jumbo size. It's just too big
No,
to
but
shuffle.
there are some people who really do like really big decks though, so, hey, it's for somebody. The summer deck is go big or go home. Big
I agree.
energy. Big energy there. Um, yeah, I have no idea what's happening here in the chat. Something about Ron's boyfriend? I don't know what's going on here.
We had an oh yeah, they were asking if we yeah, I can't remember. We have to go back a little bit.
Yeah, I just see at the very bottom here, Ron, is your boyfriend still mad at you? What?
Yeah, we've
Like,
had some
what?
interesting activity in the chat. So it's been a that's the thing when you go live, right? It's
You never it's like people are
you
gonna have their
never
own
know.
it's sometimes people have their own private conversations in the chat and, whatever.
Yeah, it
That's
was a
fine.
troll. Ron
Yeah,
is
it had to
correct.
be. I'm like, "That doesn't sound right." Whatever's going on there doesn't sound right. Um, okay. And something about Harry Potter, I don't know. Whatever. Alright, let's bring up our astrology here.
Mhm. Oh, do you have
Uh.
your timestamp?
I now I do. I didn't
For
think of it before,
for
but
some
thank
reason I was
you.
brushing my teeth before this and I was like, I need to like remember the timestamp. Like I just was like, Heather usually does, but I wanted to be the one to
Well,
remember
yeah.
it.
I'm a little rusty at it right now because 'cause we're just getting back into the swing of things, but it's all good.
No, you're
Okay.
always good at it.
So, all right, astrology, here we go. Here is the upcoming transits you guys need to know about. We're starting with today, Wednesday, June 3rd, and we're gonna be going all the way through to June 11th. Okay, so today we have a couple of things happening. We have the sun in Gemini, and it is sextile Saturn in Aries. So, what exactly does that mean? This is a supportive transit for turning scattered ideas into focused action. Gemini energy brings curiosity, communication, and options, while Saturn in Aries helps narrow down the path and commit to the next brave step. This is talk about the dream, then make a plan. Your ideas have legs right now, but Saturn wants you to choose the one worth chasing and move with intention.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
this is a good energy. It can
Yeah.
work well together.
But it's like you got to put it into action. It's not just a sit and dream about it or
Right.
just sit and write it down. It's like, what's the first step to get this done?
Yes. This is
Yeah.
not just don't just be all talk like a Gemini.
Gemini.
Right. Don't just be all talk like a Gemini. And don't get me wrong. I love my Geminis, my fellow air sign people. You guys are all air signs like me. Um But yeah, you can't just be all talk, you can't just be in your head about it. Saturn is like it's the bones of things. It's the foundation of things. It's crystallization, making things real, making things tangible and physical. So Saturn is asking you to make those ideas, those thoughts, the communication, what you're talking about, make it real.
Mhm.
Don't just think about it, talk about it, do it.
Ooh, I like that energy. I like that
Mhm.
energy. The time for
Yeah.
dreaming is done. You must do.
Exactly. Like, it's an encouraging energy, it's
Yeah.
inspirational, it's like, "Yes, go out there, do the thing." So, we also have today, Mercury in Cancer squaring off with Neptune in Aries. So this is a this brings color to what we just talked about because, Mercury, again, the planet of communication, something that obviously Gemini loves. But Mercury is not in Gemini right now. It is in Cancer. So this is a foggy communication transit where feelings, instincts, and assumptions can blur the facts. Mercury in Cancer speaks from emotion, while Neptune in Aries can rush with fantasy, fear, or projection. Pause before you believe the story your nervous system is telling you. Intuition may be loud, but clarity needs to be a little bit more this time around.
Okay.
Emotions may cloud the message. Slow down, double check your details, and don't let fear or fantasy write the narrative.
Okay. Okay, that's like yeah, that's a strong message because
Mhm.
when you're doing something from fear or from lack,
Oh, yeah.
it's
No, no,
not a
no.
that's not a good process,
No.
right? It's about and doing it last minute and like trying to like rush and do things. Like
Yeah.
no, it's got to be a process. Enjoy it. Don't do things because you're afraid. Do them because you want to. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Exactly. So, kind of like weirdly, if you tie that in with the sun and Gemini being sextile Saturn and Aries, the sun, that's our energy levels. So the energy is already kind of in this being up in our head place. And Cancer is like emotional thoughts, I guess you could say, because that's where Mercury is right now. So when you combine that, it's almost kind of like your mind could be running with that Gemini energy, but it could be almost it could be going to detrimental places, but it could be going to beneficial places if you're fantasizing about something, but at the same time, you wanna make sure that those fantasies are grounded and real, that they're not just, "Ah."
Yeah, and emotion is important, but it's important that you also stay level-headed and
Yes.
ensure that you're acting from a place of okay, clarity, like you mentioned earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, so really kinda check your thoughts, I would say, as a whole, and if you are taking actions, make sure that those actions are grounded, that they're rooted, that it's coming from a healthy place, for
Mhm.
sure. And we're gonna get into this more after the astrology and stuff, but I myself personally have been going through some things where I could be driven by fear if I let myself be,
Mhm.
but I'm not. So I'm paying
Mhm.
attention to these transits.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah,
So I have
absolutely.
real life examples of how this can apply. And maybe you can apply that in your own life.
Absolutely. Always something to learn. Always something
Mhm.
to learn.
Always. Okay, so next up we have June 9th. Mercury in Cancer will square off with Saturn in Aries. So it's doing its little dance right now with Neptune in Aries, and it's gonna move on to Saturn in Aries because those planets are all kind of hanging out in one little clumped up area together right now. Okay, so this is a tense time for communication where emotions may bump up against harsh words, pressure, or defensiveness. Mercury in Cancer wants safety and sensitivity, while Saturn in Aries can feel blunt, impatient, or demanding. Say what you mean, but don't armor up before the conversation even starts. Boundaries matter, but so does softness. Sensitive conversations may feel a little bit heavier. Choose your words carefully. Honor your boundaries, but don't make mistakes too emotional. Um, and don't mistake emotions and honesty for weakness.
Okay. Right? So
Yeah.
choose words carefully and it's kind of like give people a chance, like give people a chance to say their piece or if someone crosses a boundary that they didn't know you had, give them some grace. Like it's that's kind of what
Right.
I'm hearing. It's like communicate clearly and allow people to say their piece and choose your words carefully.
And I would say with that, also allow people to feel what they feel,
Mhm.
you know? Like, it's okay to clarify with somebody, like, "Oh, you crossed a boundary," but they're still allowed to feel how they feel, even if it's not the same thing you do.
Yeah.
Respect other people's emotions.
Mhm.
You don't have to
Absolutely.
understand it to respect it.
Mhm. No,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna be moving from kind of like this, fogginess energy with that Mercury in Cancer to it's almost like there may be a transitionary point because this is going from June 3rd to June 9th. So over the course of the week, you may see like a shift where things may not necessarily feel very clear in thoughts and communication, where it might become a little bit painfully too clear by the time it starts meeting up with that Saturn energy.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, all things to look out for. How we communicate is so important. Half the battle's
Always, always,
communication.
always. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right. So then also on June 9th, we have Venus in Cancer, which will be conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. So those two are going to be basically meeting up and shaking hands pretty much. Like, "Oh, hello, nice to see you. We're crossing paths right now, the same spot, the same time." This is a sweet and heart opening transit for love, comfort, emotional generosity, and feeling nourished by people and places that feel like home. Allow yourself to receive the love that feels safe. Softness expands here, and the heart may crave cozy connection, family energy, comfort food, or sentimental magic. Love gets softer, sweeter, and more abundant. A beautiful transit for emotional connection, nurturing bonds, and feeling blessed by your chosen home.
That sounds like our reading earlier. The heart chakra,
Yeah.
open to connections. I feel like that's a beautiful day for like manifesting, starting projects, enjoying things, like just having a you day, whatever you want to do, do something fun. Like that's what it
Yeah,
sounds like to me, and be open.
for sure. Like it is a very heart-centered, heart chakra focused, I feel like day. Because Jupiter, it's the planet of expansion. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. And those things are all sitting in Cancer. And Cancer is emotional. It's about family. It's about comfort. Um, so it's just like I feel like that's just beautiful energy all together.
Oh, it is. I'm excited, looking forward to it. June 9th,
Yeah, that's June 9th.
next Tuesday, right? Yeah.
So even if that Mercury in Cancer squaring off Saturn and Aries is a little rough with like the communication and the boundaries and stuff, the Venus Jupiter part is at least nice. So
Mhm.
that may actually help soften up some of those communication problems, especially if it is with someone who you really care about. It could be like a family member, a close friend, a romantic partner, anything like that. If there is like a little bit of friction there, that Venus and Jupiter conjunction is really going to help soften any of that.
Yay.
So, June 11th, that is our final transit for the upcoming week. We have Neptune in Aries, and it will be sextile Pluto in Aquarius. This is a subtle but powerful transit for spiritual reinvention, collective awakening, and imagining a braver future. Neptune in Aries dreams boldly, while Pluto in Aquarius transforms outdated systems, communities, and identities. The vision is changing because you are changing. New dreams, new courage, new timelines, but it may unfold quietly before it becomes obvious. A deep shift in dreams, identity, and collective energy. This transit supports bold spiritual evolution and imagining a future that breaks old patterns.
Ooh, I love that's empowering.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
empowering.
So this transit most likely is going to impact you more on a collective level. I wouldn't necessarily this is going to be something that you'll see like in your day-to-day life, like
Mhm.
at work or in your relationships or anything like that. But there could be a lot of stuff happening collectively. There could be some interesting news stories breaking around that time, dealing with the collective. So I would pay attention to those things.
Okay. Good to know. Collective energy. Very much
Yeah,
so.
because 'cause we're all part of that. Even
Mhm.
if it doesn't impact you personally directly, we're all still here and we're all on planet Earth, unless Unless we have listeners, like, out there in different galaxies we don't know, but you never know.
That's another episode.
I know. I'm like, we could
I have
talk
a lot to
about
say about that.
we could talk about those Octorians.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? Honestly, they probably are listening right now. I mean,
Well, yes, I would say so.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
You may have a producer in there right now who's a Octorian. You
Who
never know.
knows, right?
Yeah. So
They're
that
always
definitely,
listening.
yes, that is another show for another day. But I love how we're having these little side quests here of, oh, we could talk about this, we could talk about
I'm
that.
writing this down.
Yeah, add it in the notes for sure. We've
Pratt
got
Daddy.
Spencer Pratt and Octorians. Now
Writing it down.
and that would be a weird combination.
Okay,
So,
written
but yeah,
down.
that's our astrology for the week ahead. So, I would
It's
say much calmer than Aries season was. A few little bumpy areas, but also a lot of beautiful energy as well. Definitely things we can work with.
absolutely. It sounds like a really, like, I don't know how to explain it. The energy feels pretty. It feels beautiful. It feels
Yeah.
like opportunity. And yeah, but that doesn't mean it's easy, right? It's like
No.
there's still murkiness, there's still stuff to work through. But what an auspicious day to look forward to, June 9th.
Yeah, yeah. I would say the overall energy, it's lighter than what
Yeah.
we've been through. It's lighter.
Hmm.
So, but I feel like that kind of goes just energetically, it goes hand in hand with Gemini energy. Gemini's not like a heavy weighted, things are hidden, big spiritual evolution. It's not that kind of sign.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I do. I love Gemini season. I love it. I have two of my best friends are born on the same day in Gemini season. So it's,
there you go.
hmm
My dad, even though he's no longer here, but he was a Gemini, June 7th. So,
7th.
yeah,
Aw.
June 7th. So, what day is June 7th on? I'm like, I'll have to do something special for his birthday. I don't even know what. That's on Sunday. Okay, Sunday. I'll have to think of something to do for him in his honor. So,
Aw. I remember last year, I
yeah.
think you went to the mountains, right?
I did. I did. I don't know, maybe I'll do that again. We'll see. I gotta
That's
I gotta
beautiful.
play around with it. So,
No matter what you
yeah.
do in his honor, I think he'll be happy with that. That'll
Oh,
be beautiful.
absolutely.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Right.
Shall we head into our cosmic check-in?
Sure. You got our timestamp, girly girl.
I am now. Thank you. You're
Woohoo!
keeping me accountable today.
I had a weird, like, I don't know why. I was like, the timestamps. It popped into my head for some reason before this. Weird. So, cosmic check-in. This is something
Yes.
where we want to hear from you guys, our listeners. So whether you are viewing us live on YouTube or if you are listening to us across podcasting platforms, you can comment on Spotify. I know that for sure, but let us know in the comments if you're here as well. Our question today is, what is something funny that's happened to you over the past month while we've been away? What's something that's really funny that's happened? I'll put
Yeah.
it in the chat.
Yeah, tell us something funny. It can be haha funny. It can be like weird funny, like what the heck just happened? Just funny. Just something funny. Yes, Kelsey is keeping me on my toes with these timestamps today for sure.
She's usually like way on it. So I think I think it's just the timing. Like I think
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
remember and said something before you did. That's
I
all.
know. It was like maybe it was that Octorian. It just like planted something in your brain. It was like
Oh,
timestamps,
well, while I was
timestamps.
gone, I feel like my like I definitely like received some downloads and like sharpened my intuition while I was away. Oh,
Oh, I'm
definitely. I
sure.
think yeah, like going through what we both went through in the past few months. It's yeah, definitely. So tell us in the comments what's something funny. We want to laugh.
Yes. I feel like we both need to laugh
Mhm.
because there's been so much. I'm trying to think on my end of something funny. Like, can I even think of anything funny? Um, hmm. Just the fact that I'm surviving. I'm still here. Because this whole past month has been it's been hell.
Mhm.
Somehow I've become like a demon hunter in my bathroom for the past
Mhm.
month.
Buffy, I love you. I love your
There
work.
there is kind of like humor in that. Like sometimes you have to laugh at what you're going through because it's so cartoonishly, outlandishly ridiculous. If you
Mhm.
don't laugh at it, like you're just gonna drown.
Oh, 1000%. Like, and I think for me, because I was away getting married, um, there is a lot that can go wrong. When you're planning for a wedding, when you're having all your events and stuff, there's a lot that can go wrong, but you gotta laugh because
Oh
otherwise,
yeah.
like it's just hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Um, Ron has an answer. He says, "I just had
Yeah.
a cataract removed, and everything now is so white and bright. I find that funny."
Interesting. Well, I hope it's white and bright in a good way, at least. I mean, having a cataract removed, I would think would be a good thing.
Well, my nana, she got hers, like she was having a rough time with her sight, and then she got it done, and she had a new lease on life. She was like, and she was like, "We're going to Vegas for my 90th birthday." And we
Oh,
went,
wow.
all of us, but it's because she could see again. Like it's like she could see.
Yeah.
So Ron, that's I hope it's a good thing, but that is bright and white.
Maybe this is a sign that Ron needs to go to Vegas, see the bright lights.
um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so Ron, maybe you can relate to that. Maybe a new lease on life. But that's
Yeah,
exciting.
I would think it would be good.
Um, but something funny that's happened to me is you know how like when you have an event or something, you like rely heavily on like ordering things online, whether it's Amazon or Etsy or whatever, right? Oh, Ron, he has no glasses after 60 years.
Ooh, yeah,
Ooh,
I love that.
that's awesome. Well, good for you,
That's
Ron. Thanks for
huge.
sharing that.
I wish we had like an applause button or something like, "Yay!"
Well, one day we will. We will have all of the gadgets.
I know.
We'll have a DJ that plays for us.
I know. We'll definitely need that for sure. Like I had a little sound box thing with my other microphone, but the microphone was crap and it just didn't work well, so none of that was a good situation. But
That's too bad.
one day, I suppose I could probably add in applause in GarageBand as I like edit this for the audio and everything, but I'd have to find this specific moment to be just like, where is Ron's celebration?
Exactly, right? It would take a little digging, but we'll have it ready one day.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
sure we
for sure.
will. But I think when you order stuff online, I was talking about ordering stuff and surprisingly we did really well. Like you know how sometimes you get catfished by things? Like when you
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah, like you think it's good. So I
Mhm.
got there's this one thing that we got catfished with and it was so funny. Like so
What was
um
it?
remember when I said we had an aura frame like that like play like so we were gonna have a like those watching from heaven table.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
we had pictures of all our grandparents. Philip and I spent hours looking for photos of our grandparents. The darn thing ended up not working the day of, but so,
Of
like this was
course.
this sign was a sign. I'm gonna get to that, but what was so funny is on Amazon, I saw this message, this sign that said this candle or this light is lit for those watching from heaven. And I thought it was this beautiful like solid wooden sign. It was like 25 bucks. So I was like, "Oh my goodness." Like and then it showed up and it was someone had printed it out. So it was just like a print.
Oh my
So
god.
I paid $25 and for something I honestly could have made and framed. Like
Right.
so
Yeah.
so that was kind of
Oh,
like, but
man.
like I literally the package came, I opened it, and I just started laughing. I just showed my mom. I'm
Oh
like,
my
we
god.
paid $25 for the like. I could have made this, but the aura
Right.
ended up not working anyway. So that was a sign from the sign. Maybe it's like okay,
Yeah.
but at least we had this. So I ended up making my own and framing it and then sending the other one back because
That's
like
okay. Yeah. I can think of another funny thing, at least on your end. because it definitely caught me off guard, and I thought it was something else than what you were talking about because I had no idea what it was, but the sausage.
Yeah, so that's another funny thing. I wasn't sure when to bring that up. I'm like, do I bring that up during funny or do
It
I bring
is
that up?
funny.
It's kind
It
of
is
both
funny.
because it's unexpected. But so buckle in. This is a wedding tradition. So my matron of honor, she was amazing, wonderful. All of my bridal party was wonderful to me. And when she came to support me during my wedding, she said, "Oh, there's a tradition. We have to bury a raw sausage outside in either in the backyard or in the back of the venue." And I was like, "Oh, I've never heard of this." But then she showed me all these TikToks and like apparently it worked. Like people, it's like kind of like making an offering, right? When you think about it. So the night of the rehearsal, there was a lot of like miscommunication. I ended up not having a ride to the rehearsal. My little cousin saved the day, came and got us. And then it was the night of the rehearsal, so we need before the wedding, so we need to bury the sausage. And so um
Yeah,
and I'll
you
talk
guys,
about
when she texted me this, I had no idea what this was. I was like, "Is this like a
what
weird does this have to
I
do with Philip?"
your
Like,
brain went places.
it did.
Um
It went straight into the gutter. I was not thinking, "Oh, nice weather, blah blah blah." I was like,
but you have to
"What kind of
it's to ward off bad weather. That's what it is. So I took a look at the tradition. I looked at the origins. I was like, hey, like, and so of course this rehearsal dinner, I didn't have a ride, but my cousin saved the day. She came and got us, and we realized we forgot the sausage. And so we're driving, and we're like, oh, we're in rush hour. And then my matron of honor, she was like, oh, I forgot the sausage. And I was like, oh, too bad, oh well. And my cousin was like, I'll go get it. So my little cousin saved the day. She came with I think it was like a kubasa, and Ron was a wedding photographer and never heard of that before. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
So
you and me both never heard
neither
of it
had my
until now.
photographer. She was like, "This is new. I'm gonna have to tell people this." But anyway,
It's
so
obvious. Must be some, TikTok thing because I mean
it has like I've been looking up the origins, and like there is like Scottish kind of like origins in the UK. It's
yeah, I was gonna say,
uncertain of
what
what.
country does this come out of?
Yeah,
Because I'm like,
but it's a tradition. It's one of those things that it's hard to nail down where exactly it came from, right?
right, somewhere
But
in that region.
so we after the rehearsal dinner, we went out. I was in my white outfit. My cousin also bought us a little shovel. We went out behind the venue. Ooh, and then we dug a little hole and buried it, and we said some words. We asked for good weather the next day. So the forecast had been teetering on like overcast, like cloudy. It said rain for like a few days there, and then
Mhm.
we woke up. It was a perfect day. It was
Aw.
unbelievably beautiful. Clear skies and then cloud cover, which Ron, you'll know, cloud cover perfect for photos. It was absolutely a beautiful day. So yeah, it was like an unexpected story, and like it makes people chuckle a bit because they hadn't heard of it. A lot of people hadn't. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
see. Let's see. I'm gonna look up. I have the origins a little bit here. Yeah, so it's a superstition. It's kind of a tradition. It's supposed to bring good weather on the wedding day, keep rain away, and it's commonly associated with Scotland, Northern England. And it's become popular amongst brides, obviously on TikTok. But yeah,
Apparently.
yeah, all you do is you bury that raw sausage the night before the wedding. Yep, and you do it preferably in the garden or near the wedding venue, and then hope for sunshine and dry skies. Yeah,
Alright.
so
There you go. If you're planning a wedding, now you know.
you got to do it. You got to.
And it's not something dirty.
No, get your minds out of the gutter if you're listening.
Oh, man.
When I gave my thank you speech at the end, I had to thank my cousin, and it was people. I think people's minds went there too. They were like, "What?"
Right? No one knew what it was, so
No, no, absolutely.
definitely one of those you learn something new every day moments.
Yeah, but some sources I'm reading here trace it back to older folklore in Bavaria and Austria. So, so they might have
Like, that's
origins
like
there.
anywhere in Europe almost.
So but that's a lot of those traditions, right? It's hard to
Yeah,
trace them.
yeah,
It can be hard to trace them. Like who
it
did it
goes that far
first?
back.
Yeah, very interesting. If anyone knows
Yeah,
more about this, let us know. And
yeah, that is fascinating, so
it worked, and it was a beautiful day. 10 out
yes,
of 10 would do
indeed,
it again for the laughs and the photos.
of course.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, when things are going crazy, like I said, you gotta laugh, that's for sure. Um, but yeah, I think that brings us to our topic of the day,
Yes.
um, which is like I said, it's not anything crazy or heavy duty, because we are just jumping back into things here. But today it is a new season, and that's literally what we're talking about today, a new season. We're gonna talk about where we've been for the past, like, 6 weeks or so. We're gonna talk about what is coming up next in this brand new season, and it's just kinda gonna be a relaxed little episode.
Fun, fun. I love
So,
it.
yeah.
Got our timestamp.
Yes, indeed, it is well, it's an angel number if you're on Eastern Time. It is 5:55 there. But for
Ooh.
me, it is 3:55.
I love it. I'll take it.
Yeah. 555, and you're a, life path 5.
Oh, yes.
So
Number
mhm.
5 really I resonate with that number.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
trying to get comfortable here. Crisscross
A
applesauce.
a number of change, which is one of the biggest things that you experienced over the past 6 weeks, getting married.
1000%. It was definitely a life transition, and it was definitely it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But Heather and I had a little chat a few days ago. We had a coffee and a catch up. And yeah, like there's a lot that goes with it too. There's a lot of life lessons, there's a lot of spiritual lessons, there's a lot of beautiful things and then hard things that happen when in wedding, planning a wedding, being around relatives, doing all the events, the joining of two families. Like you just never know how it's going to go. But honestly, it was a beautiful, beautiful day. As much as it was stressful leading up, and the day before, oh my gosh, the rehearsal, I was like a ball of nerves. But and we talked about that, and we'll talk more about that in the next few episodes.
Yeah.
But what was beautiful is like we we met, my husband and I, my husband, we met like
You're a
six,
wife. Oh my gosh.
right, a wife, but we met 6 years ago to the day we got married. So it was very beautiful, symbolic. We got married in a really special venue. We got married, it's like a theater, like with a big screen on the top, and we got married under the moon and the stars. And I've always really connected to the moon in a lot of ways. The moon is like, cyclical about the seasons of life. It's kind of like moving through those different seasons, moving into a new season. It symbolizes that intuition and inner knowing, and that change is natural, right? And as a Cancer rising, and I have many Cancer placements, I've always really connected to the moon. And I know before we met, Heather, I've been learning astrology, but I feel like I really connected to the moon because it's like it kind of makes it makes the most sense to like you said, start with the moon, track the moon, keep
Yeah,
track of that.
it's the easiest one to track
Yeah.
right off the bat when you're learning astrology. It also moves the fastest, so
Yes, it moves through those signs, right? So quickly.
mhm.
So, no, it was absolutely beautiful. And when I look at my transits for the day, my personal transits, it's themes of transformation, themes of boundaries, personal power, um, themes of staying regulated, themes of receiving support. And we talked about delegation, right? So,
Mhm.
what a but
Yeah.
what a and if any of my family is listening, I know my shout out to my little cousin. I'm not going to name him because he's private, but he knows who he is. And during my wedding, He maybe had a few celebratory drinks, and he told me that he listens to tarot tales. So I thought that was just so
I will
beautiful.
say this much, he's not private in the analytics.
No, he shows up.
Yes.
So actually, like, and so shout out to the rest of my family that's listening, because I appreciate you, and what a beautiful time we shared together. So thank you for that. But that's what I've been up to. Um, Big month of preparation. I had my bachelorette. I had my shower, all of that stuff, and lots of family
Yeah.
dinners, lots of gatherings. But I'm ready to move into this new season of life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they say that, a wedding really isn't about you necessarily, even though
Oh,
it
it wasn't.
should be,
It
uh,
1000%
but
wasn't.
it's about everybody else, which is so ironic. So,
It is. There was a lot of yeah, it's interesting, right? The traditions that go with it. And like, you always think, and as the bride, I was always thinking of other people. How are they gonna receive this? How long should the speeches be? How long should this be? How many seconds of this song? You're gonna lose interest, right? Like, it's like you want to make sure you're the people that are there are enjoying, right? And
yeah.
but I told you that when I was a ball of nerves and just so anxious, and I was very quiet on the morning of the wedding getting ready, which is not like me. I'm not really quiet, like, but I was stressed. But as soon as I saw Philip at our first look, that's when I calmed down instantly, and I remembered the core of it. It's us. And
Mhm.
whether people have fun or not, like, that's really, we've already put in all the work. We've put
Yeah.
time, but it's about our connection and our love and our joining, and people are just here to party. Like, let's be real. So yeah.
And clearly the drinks later proved that.
Oh, it was an open bar. So people, oh my gosh, people had, let's just say people had fun. And some people had more fun than others.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I love that though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't think about, like, with the positive big changes in life. They don't think about how stressful it can be. But, starting a new job or starting a business, getting married, getting a house, having a baby, all of those things are wonderful things. They're positive things that we look forward to in life, but they all come with so much stress.
1000%, right? And nothing worth having isn't like, it's not stress free, right? Like, anything
No.
worth having, you have to kind of work for you. And there's positives and negatives, and there all of that, right? And where there's light, there's shadow. So, and like, that can be hard, right? Did shadow perk up?
I'm
Hello.
I'm looking I'm looking for him. I don't know where he is. I heard him. Oh, he's on the couch. He's announced himself now. He's like, "I'm over here." Which, honestly, shadow is a good segue here to kinda get into the next chapter of where you're headed.
Yeah, it is. It's for those of you who have been regular listeners, you may remember, but Philip and I are bringing home a puppy at the end of June.
I'm so excited for
So
you guys.
I'm so excited. Yeah, we're getting a beautiful chocolate lab, and we know that she is a girl. And so we've been making. Oh, hello.
I know, he's just standing here
But I may have
yelling.
some barking on my end too.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
I'm gonna have some biting and some barking and
If you guys
squirming. Like,
don't like dogs, this is not the podcast for you.
I don't think they'd be here if they didn't. Like,
Right,
I really don't.
exactly. But if you love dogs, you are in the right place. So,
Well, yeah, like, I'm super excited to be a dog mom, like, and to, bond with you over that. And like, I know
yeah.
I can talk to you about being a dog mom and how
Oh,
it's beautiful and
totally.
fun, but the puppy blues are real. And
Yeah,
um
and it's gonna happen. I mean, you are going to love her to pieces, but at the same time, you're gonna wanna cry some days. Like, "Oh my god."
I'm sure. And but what's so cool about, puppies, and there's like that whole, like, world of dog, like, of pet mediumship. And I'm so
Yes.
I'm so interested in that. And like, you can read your dog's Akashic records if you have their permission. Like, and she's a little Taurus. So she was born on April 29th.
I was supposed to say, do you have a birth time?
I'm gonna ask Philip to email them, and so they can kind of like look through. But thing is, they're probably all born like at different times, but within the same time frame. I'd say
Still, if you can
like
get
an
like
approximate
an
even.
approximate time, you can probably get a pretty spot on birth chart for her.
I know. I'm like, okay, like that's my next step because
Yeah.
Philip just told me the other day it was April 29th, and I was like, oh, little Taurus. Okay. But yeah, it's
She's
exciting.
gonna be stubborn then.
Stubborn, but I am too. It's okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Stubborn little lab. That's all right.
And I don't have much earth energy in my chart. I do, but it's not as pronounced as the
Right.
fire and the
She'll
water
be
and
able to
the
ground
air.
you.
Yeah, well, that's what Philip's around for too. Like he's kind of that grounded energy.
That's all right.
It
Well,
was in
he's clearly already very excited for her because he's like, full blown dog dad mode,
oh,
all
he's
the
been
things.
ordering stuff, ordering yeah, it's yeah,
Watching all the
ordering.
videos, obsessed.
He's like he just has a little playlist of like chocolate lab puppies and like dogs and I'll like he'll send them to me and like that's all he sends me now and then I'll look over his shoulder like I'll just see what he's watching and it's like chocolate lab content. He's very excited and
His
he loves
content is
dogs.
like my feed filled with chihuahuas.
That's the
It's
AI photo, like the AI videos you were sending me. I was like,
yes.
oh my gosh.
I know, like the one that I sent you, there are these AI videos that I always see on Facebook, and it's these 3 chihuahuas that are always together, they're doing different things, they're hanging out, they're singing, they're dancing, they're doing all these things, and the person who creates them, I believe they create them based off of their own 3 real life chihuahuas because 'cause they've also shared, like, real pictures of their dogs. But then they go and they make these crazy AI videos of their dogs.
And it's like really I love your feed is so funny. Like I'm like it knows you so
It
well.
does.
Chihuahuas and like
It
witchy
is.
things and like
I
yeah,
know. Chihuahuas doing readings, whatever.
national parks. Like
Yes, all the things, but yeah, that's gonna be such an exciting season for you. Um, I'm really excited to see how that all goes, and that kinda brings us to idea number 3 for a topic. When the new puppy arrives, we'll have to do, like, a spiritual pet-themed video.
I'm so
Something
interested
pet-themed.
in that world of like because I've
Yeah.
never even thought about it, right? And
Mhm.
now I'm like, okay, well, until we talked about it, I think we you saw like a pet medium, right? At like one of your events.
Yes, yes, whenever I do, like, the Body, Mind, Spirit events, I'm funny, she has the same name as me, her name is also Heather, and she does animal communication, pet mediumship, and everything. She's read for me for Shadow and Tinkerbell, she's read for Callie, dealing with my mom, and like, at this point, we talk about so much stuff all the time, like, we just shoot the breeze and she just downloads the messages as we're talking. So don't be surprised if the next time I see her, they're both going off right now anyways.
Well, maybe I'll get her info and get a reading when my doggy comes along.
That's true, you can. I know I'll be seeing her in August at Body, Mind, Spirit, the next Denver event, because she's gonna be there as well. I will probably mention you and your little puppy coming, and I wouldn't be surprised if she downloads messages, like, right then and there to tell me to tell you,
Oh my gosh.
because she does that.
Oh well, like yeah. Sometimes it just comes through, and I'm sure
Yeah,
that sometimes like it just comes through. Oh, what's
I
going
know.
on over there? Is everyone okay?
They're looking out the window. We're small but mighty. Tinkerbell, are you being 6 pounds of fury right now? Yeah? You're so dangerous. I know, the people out there are just shaken, they're so threatened by your presence.
How dare you?
I know.
You walk on the sidewalk.
It's like, "This is my turf, what are you doing?"
Yep.
And with Shadow, I mean, every time he sees a bigger dog, I mean, by the time yours gets big, if he were to see her, he would literally go up to her and say, "I can take you. I
Yeah.
can take you right here, right
Little
now."
dogs have that, like, they have that
I know
confidence.
he does.
Like, my parents' dog is 7 pounds, and you would think that she was 100, right? Like, she barks, she antagonizes, she's like,
Yeah,
"You can't get me." Like, it's
I know. They have their ways. Oh, speak of the devil. Here, come here. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh, you're sniffing the microphone.
Oh.
Did you guys hear that? She's like,
Hi, Tinkerbell.
"Would you like to say something?" Here, you can do ASMR.
As you said, do ASMR, a car, like, honked, like, outside. It was like, "Honk, honk, honk."
I did not hear the car. I did not hear it.
I started laughing. I was, like, trying not to laugh to hear Tinkerbell's
Oh,
ASMR.
she's ASMR with the paws.
Oh, that's lovely. She's talented.
She is. Should you start your own ASMR
That'd
channel?
be so cute. Just her, like, touching the microphone, giving you
Honestly,
this
she
here.
she would probably get more followers and more money than me.
People love ASMR and chihuahuas and, like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Just put the 2 together.
Well,
I'm
you
like
would. I'm sure you would love that channel. Like, it'd be in your feed.
Exactly. Actually, there is someone who has come across my TikTok feed in the past where she does ASMR with her chihuahua. Like, the chihuahua's not touching a microphone or anything, but she'll lay her chihuahua down, and then she'll, like, massage the chihuahua and, like, brush a feather up against its face and all these other things, and, it's like the dog's totally zen, and she's just,
Aw,
like, doing all these, like, relaxing things to the chihuahua.
that's adorable.
So it does work.
There's an audience. There's an
Yeah.
audience for anything, but yeah, pet content. Maybe my puppy will be an ASMR star. Who knows?
Probably not right away. I feel like she's gonna have too much energy.
Well, maybe it's like puppy sounds ASMR.
That's true. Puppy sounds like, "Oh, there's the sound of chewing something she shouldn't be putting her mouth on."
Sound of her crying when she's supposed to be sleeping.
That's true, that's true.
Sound of her begging for, I don't know, treats.
Oh, well, they never grow out of that. That's a forever thing.
uh, yeah, that's not really puppy. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
no, they never grow out of that. I mean, our tradition around here is, after we come inside from our last potty break for the night, they know. They know it's time for a greenie, and I do not hear it doesn't stop, like, they don't shut up until they get those greenies when we come inside.
Like
So
greenies, my parents' dogs, like they're morning greenie doggies. So like that's what they have first thing in the morning, and they will
mhm.
not eat if you forget the greenie, they'll stare at you like because they like my senior dog. We chop it up for her and like put it in her because
Aw.
she doesn't really have teeth. So
Right.
but my other dog we just give her a whole and she goes and but if you don't give it to them, they're like or how are we supposed to eat without our greenie?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, yeah, for them, it's their bedtime treat, they gotta brush their teeth before they
Clean
go to
their
bed.
teeth. Yeah.
So, yeah, but, I mean but they don't just sit there and stare. There's whining, there's crying, there's dancing around. It's a whole performance.
Oh, 1000%.
Yeah.
There's a dog on TikTok. I think her name's Daisy, and I think she's a Maltese. I could be wrong, but her mom and dad every night play the piano for her, and they sing her a
Oh,
song, and it's like, Greenie, Greenie, come and get your Greenie,
I know, they love
Greenie.
it so much. They
And then she's like,
really do.
she trots over out of like, and she comes out of nowhere and comes trotting and gets her Greenie, but they make it a whole production. Like,
I don't know what they put in those things, but seriously, they are addicted.
Beanie, so cute. But yeah,
Yeah.
puppy content, more like pet mediumship. Like
Yes.
super interested in reading like the Akashic records of my puppy and maybe Shadow Tinkerbell
Yeah, I
eventually.
would be very interested in that too. I mean,
Mhm.
like, get we'll have to do, like, a trade then. It's like you
1000%.
get that birth information for her, I'll read the birth chart, and you can read their Akashic
Yes.
records. There we go, we got a good trade.
I love it. I'll write that down.
Yeah,
I'm writing it down
yeah.
because I don't want to forget.
So we're gonna be bringing you guys some pet content, some, apparently Spencer Pratt content, and
Arcturian content.
and starseeds, those Octorians, they're gonna be hanging out. So, yeah, what do you
Love it.
think?
That's kind of what's coming up next. I'd also love to delve into past lives. Like I think Akashic records kind of really links to past
Yeah, I
lives
was
in a
about
lot
to
of
say
ways.
those things are kind of
So they're
2 in
connected.
1. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I think because I would love to talk about I had a past life regression years ago and it like aligns with a lot of the past life work I've done recently. And
Mm.
yeah, I'd love to talk about that too. So that might be a possibility as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We could talk about past lives for sure. I like
Mhm.
that. We're just, like, brainstorming here. If you guys like any of these, let us know. Or if you have
Mhm.
any ideas of things specifically you want us to get into, let us know. So we're like I said, we're all ears.
We are all
What
ears.
do you think, Tink? She's so relaxed right now.
She
She's just,
thinks greeny.
oh,
That's what she like.
it's too early. It's too early right now. It's daylight. No, it's not.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
only
not time
4
for
there.
bed. Yeah, I'm like, it's early. We have a
It's supper hour
while.
here.
Yeah, we have a while. So,
Mm.
but
Now,
yeah, that's a lot of big changes within the past 6 weeks.
it is, and I know that Heather, we've talked briefly about what's been going on with you.
Oh,
It
Lord
sounds
have
like
mercy.
some it sounds like we had some similarities in a lot of ways, which is crazy to think. Like
Right.
different seasons in our life, but you have some beautiful things coming.
One thing that and you guys wouldn't think that this would be something Kelsey would feel or experience heading into something so beautiful and so magical, this happy season of her life. But there were moments where she felt suicidal from the stress,
Mhm.
and so was I. So we were just feeling suicidal together,
Well, and
but
like
separately.
I think but the thing is, it oftentimes that's like the dark night of the soul feeling, right? It's like
Yes.
sometimes before
Yes.
you and like um as always, like if you have feelings like that, reach out, tell people. Like I had beautiful people around me, but it's something that it didn't last for long, but it was very significant. And I think it's important that you reach out and get that help and talk to people about it. But that because dark nights of the soul transformation, it comes with some shadow work, darkness,
Yes.
getting to the
Yes.
depths of your soul, right?
Ooh, it is not pretty. That is for
Yeah.
sure. And that's
Mhm.
the thing, like, a lot of times people kind of put out there the dark night of the soul, like, "Oh, this is something that only happens once in your life, and
No.
then you're done." But no, it comes back. It comes in different flavors and textures and situations and people, but it ebbs and flows. It comes and goes. But yeah, if you have one of those nights where you go to bed and you're thinking to yourself, "I don't wanna wake up in the morning," that's dark night of the soul stuff.
Mhm.
And by all means, we here on Tarot Tales can't fix that for you. We will be of the most support to you in that if you are experiencing that right now. And we can help you find resources if you're struggling. But by all means, reach out to someone because there are
Mhm.
resources. And most importantly, remember that if you are facing that right now, it is temporary, that it is
Mhm.
not the rest of your life. It is situational, it is seasonal, it will not last forever, and that your life is worth so much more beyond a temporary feeling, even though it's the worst feeling ever, and it's legit, and you're allowed to feel that way, and it has value. But your life is more valuable than that emotion.
1000%. Like emotions are visitors, but they're also information. So it's
Mhm.
important not to ignore that information, right? If it's coming up, don't stuff it down. That's not what we do, right? It's
No,
feel it, move
but
through it, and
but
remember it's
release
temporary.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
release it eventually.
Hmm.
Yeah. And the only way
Absolutely.
you can release it is by feeling it. It goes
Yeah.
hand in hand.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, on my end, um, definitely a transformational time for sure. Um, yes, Ron is correct. It is just a bump in the road of life. And life can be bumpy and there can be twists and turns.
Mhm.
um, which has definitely been like the past few weeks for me. So, obviously, during our season break between season 1 and 2, I did bring you guys 2 bonus episodes, and I was very happy to do that. Your May 2026 pick a card reading, and then I shared my horrible, awful experience of going through bed bugs when I was living in LA 10 years ago. Um, and I'm glad I shared that story because a lot of what I've been going through over the past few weeks are weirdly connected to that, just not with bed bugs. Um, but yeah, like things got really, really rough after those 2 episodes. I wanted to come back and I wanted to do more bonus episodes and I had more ideas in my head of what I wanted to do, but things were way too much. There was a point where I physically couldn't even talk, which was why I didn't come back for any bonus episodes. And I was just like, well, you know what? Obviously, spirit is giving me the message that I need to rest and my energy needs to be focused elsewhere at this time. And we'll be back. I mean, we're coming back for season 2. We're here right now. Season 2, obviously, we are back. But I myself had to apparently take care of some other things during that time. So if you're just tuning in, yes, Ron is right. The Donalds. So that's what I'm getting to right now. If you're just tuning in and you don't know what the Donalds are, I'll tell you what the Donalds are. The Donalds are that's the little name that I have given the horrible intruders in my bathroom, which have been large American-sized roaches. And for those of you who are not familiar, there are 2 different types of roaches. There are the German kind, which are the small indoor ones. Those are the ones that usually cause like huge infestations in like kitchens and that kind of thing. And then there are the large American ones, which are like they're ugly as sin. I mean, they're like 2 to 3 inches long. They're huge. They're also known as water bugs or palomino bugs. They typically live outside and they are not typically the ones that cause the infestations, but I feel like I know way too much information about bugs lately, which is really annoying. But basically, the way they get in is they find like cracks in foundations and that kind of thing, and they can get inside of your home from the outside that way. And they're very much so drawn to darkness and moisture. So they'll go to areas like the bathroom. And for me, this problem started way back in March. It's June now. So I have been struggling with this issue for literally the past 3 months, mainly because we haven't been able to find the source of where they're coming from. Because I do live in an apartment building and therefore I have shared walls. And you don't know who has what going on and what unit and what's happening, where it's coming from. I don't I'm not on the ground level. My neighbor below me is garden level. So his apartment is like halfway under the ground anyways. So chances are they're probably coming in from somewhere down there and then they crawl up to the higher level units like myself. So, um yeah, they were starting to come in March. It took a while to figure out where they were coming from, but eventually we figured out the source was the bathroom. Because pest control would come in, they would spray, they would put down traps. There's currently a trap next to my refrigerator. Thankfully, it has been empty for the longest amount of time because since we figured out they were coming from the bathroom, I have kept my bathroom door closed. I've kept a towel at the bottom of the bathroom door to prevent anything from escaping the bathroom. Like, the bathroom has been in quarantine, basically.
Mm.
Doing that, though, was smart because ever since I did that, they don't come out anywhere else. So they're not in my kitchen, they're not in my living room, they're not in my bedroom, they're nowhere else in this apartment. They've all been coming from the bathroom. And the big trick here is to not just spray, to not just treat the situation, but you have to seal the holes of where they're coming from. 2 years ago, I've lived in this apartment for 3 years. 2 years ago, they did this whole big plumbing project in the entire building, and they replaced all of the piping. So, when they did that, they kicked us all out for a week. So, we had to either stay with somebody else or they, like, put some people up in a hotel, whatever it was. Thankfully, I had somewhere that I could stay for free and it wasn't, like, an issue or anything. But, yeah, they kicked us all out for a week. They redid all this piping, and whoever, like, did the sealing from the piping, I don't think they did a good job because I think holes were left behind there from 2 years ago in the very first place. And the thing is, you can have holes, and if there are roaches in a building, that doesn't mean they're gonna automatically come into your unit. They kinda just have to, like, make their way in the infrastructure from wherever they're coming from, and then eventually they might find that hole and crawl into your unit. And I feel like that's basically what's happened. Those holes have probably been there since 2 years ago, since they did those repairs, and it just so happened to be that now is the time that those roaches found those holes and started coming in through my bathroom because they found holes in the water closet heater. There were holes underneath the sink of the bathroom, like, just so many holes. So, I've had maintenance people come in to seal things. I've had, the pest control guy, like, I've seen him, like, every week. I'm like, don't get me wrong, he's been very helpful, but I'm so tired of seeing him.
Well, yeah. Like that's,
So
and I know, like we talked about this too, you and I the other day, about like the theme of bugs and how it's something that it's something you deal with cyclically, it seems like.
yes,
And
there
and
is
it
there
and it has
there
a physiological effect on you. Like it totally
yeah,
affects your body.
I'm getting to that. But yeah, so they've very much so been in the bathroom, and, this is the worst part. They like to go behind the toilet. So there's
Mhm.
currently a trap behind my toilet, and I can't tell you how many times I have found dead roaches in the trap behind the toilet. It's terrifying. There was one night almost a week ago, I went in there and there were 2 of them in the trap, and there was one just sitting there hanging out in the bathtub. I was absolutely
Mhm.
traumatized, so I have some bug spray. It is pet safe, and I took it into the bathroom, and because those things move fast, and I was like, "I am not chasing that thing, no way." So, I sprayed it first just to disorient it, and then I have a Swiffer in the bathroom, and it's, like, literally my weapon, basically, and
Mhm.
after it was disoriented, I smashed it with the Swiffer and then flushed it.
Mhm. That
So,
was brave
but
of you. Very brave of you.
traumatizing, though. I mean, I was
Mhm.
crying the entire time, like, I this is why I'm saying, and this is funny, for those of you who like, and a lot it's funny because a lot lately I've been going to McDonald's to get those Stranger Things Happy Meals, and I feel like my apartment has turned into the Upside Down in Stranger Things. So if you guys are familiar with the show, I have an analogy for you. So, my my apartment building, like, the property itself, there's, like, I don't know, there's, like, 12, 14. There's a lot of different buildings on the property complex itself, but my building specifically, imagine that my building is Indiana, okay? Now, my unit is Hawkins, Indiana. My bathroom is Hawkins Lab in Indiana, and the roaches are the demogorgons.
Hey.
and then I have to go in there and basically be like 11 and be like, "Oh, die." Right? Exactly. So, I'm tired of slaying demons in my bathroom. Um, and right now my apartment really does look ridiculous because I have moved almost everything out of my bathroom because it's so unusable. I go in there for the absolute bare minimum reasons. So, my hair dryer is now next to my coffee maker. My toothbrush is next to the toaster in the kitchen. So everything's just been moved out. So, hair,
Yes.
makeup, brushing my teeth, all of those things do not happen in the bathroom anymore because I
It's
just
under
refuse to be in
quarantine.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Which is
I
it's so disruptive. It's so disruptive.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like I can't
Mhm.
even be comfortable in my own home in the bathroom. And then the physical results of this um are twofold because number 1, it's like the last thing you want is your period to be in the bathroom when your bathroom has turned into an evil place. And my period came early this past month. Like I had it at its normal time, 10 days went by and then it came back again. Just being
Wow.
under
Your body was stressed.
so much stress and that's the last
Yeah.
place I want to be in on my
Mhm.
period obviously. And then on top of that, I've never had this happen. I've heard people talk about TMJ before and having TMJ. I personally have never really experienced TMJ symptoms until last month. So,
Right.
I had the first period and then right as that period was tapering off, um my teeth right around here in this area started to feel really weird and I just sore and achy. And at first I was just like, well, maybe it's just hormones, like my period's ending, maybe it's something hormonal. I've just been under stress or whatever, right? And then it got worse. And the pain spread from the front here all the way to the back of my jaw here in the lower
Mhm.
right hand area. And this entire area was just inflamed in so much pain. I'd never experienced pain like that in my life, throbbing. And the only way I could stop it was by drinking ice cold water or basically becoming like a chipmunk and stuffing ice cubes way in the back of my cheek down by my jaw. That was the only way I could make it stop. And it was very
Right.
temporary at that too. And then because I was drinking all this water, of course, I wanted to just pee all the time. And I didn't want to keep peeing all the time. So next thing you know, I had 2 cups. I had one for the ice water, and then I had another one to spit the ice water out in because I just needed the cold down here is what it
Mhm.
comes down to, and I couldn't eat anything. The only things I could really have was anything that's, cold and soft. So, ice cream, Jello, pudding, anything like that. Even soup would be painful unless it was room temperature because I couldn't have anything
Mhm.
hot. Anything hot would make everything just, super duper inflamed, and I was doing my research on it and everything seemed to be reflective of TMJ. Eventually, the pain started to die down in the front area, and then it was just only right there in the back by that very, very back molar. And that's where it kind of lingered for the longest amount of time. And that was one of the big reasons why I knew I had to take a step back and not do bonus episodes because I had this going on with the problems in the bathroom and I had Body, Mind, Spirit in Loveland
Mhm.
that was happening May 16th and 17th. And I knew I was gonna have to talk because I was gonna be having clients, they were gonna be coming to my booth, and I was like, "I need to speak." Technically, I need to be on vocal rest because I can't be using my jaw, I can't be using my muscles here. But I was like, "I need to just, not talk so I can
Mhm.
rest as much as possible and be ready for that because that was booked months ago, and I need to be there for that. So I took time off of Tarot Tales, the bonus episodes, and just focused on resting and trying to make myself as healthy as possible to do body, mind, spirit. Thankfully, it went very well. So the rest paid off. By the time body, mind, spirit rolled around, um, I mean, I still had a little bit of pain back here, but it was bearable. Like, it was working with ibuprofen. I could just take some ibuprofen and I could plow through and I could get through. So thankfully that was good. So thank you to everyone who came out for Loveland, Body, Mind, Spirit. Um, you guys are troopers for hanging in there with me. But yeah, so that did go very well. And yeah, and then after that, like there wasn't that much, like it was only going to be a couple more weeks until we were going to be back anyways, and I was still kind of healing and still figuring out things here with my home life, and I was like, I'll just come back when the new season comes back. Like obviously
No,
life
I
is
completely
just,
support that.
yeah, life
Yeah.
is just running me over right now. It's like I'm useless to you guys if I could barely hold it together here myself. And
Right.
but there are some major positives that have come out of this. Positives that I never saw coming, but in a weird way, I should have seen it coming in my birth chart because Jupiter is currently in Cancer. I know it's going to be moving out of Cancer soon, but Cancer is my 8th house. And the 8th house is
Oh.
shared resources. So it kind of makes sense that this is happening now because Jupiter's the planet of expansion, shared resources. And with all this going on, I mean, there was one conversation I had with my mom. I was in absolute tears because I was like, I feel subhuman. I feel like I can't even use my bathroom. Like I can't even do normal things that we should be able to do as human beings, just to use my own toilet or take a shower and not feel like repulsed or disgusted or have to be hyper vigilant because you have to see if there's anything in there before you turn on a faucet or something. Like I was just like, I just want to be able to be comfortable in my own home. And this is not the first time that I've been through something like this because, like I said, if you guys heard that bonus episode back in May, 10 years ago, I went through bed bugs. That was a million times worse because I was homeless. I was paying rent. I was suicidal. Like the whole thing, like hot mess. I'm not getting into that one again. But yeah, if you guys are interested, go check out that bonus episode because, you know, it's a novel. It's a story for sure. But these bugs have a habit of coming into my life and ruining my life. And it's not just disruptive and inconvenience, but it's like you feel like you don't have a safe place. You feel like you don't have a home, that you can't even be human in a lot of ways. And as I was crying to my mom, talking to her about this, and we've talked about this a lot in the past before, but not to this level of seriousness. And she was just like, "You know what? I think it's time. It's time that we find you a house. It's time to get you out of apartment life." So that leads me to my next chapter, and probably something you guys will be hearing about a lot here on the podcast as I go through this process because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I am officially house hunting for my very first house.
Yay!
So yes,
I love
after
that.
20 years of living in apartments, which brings us to that pattern there. 20 years ago, it's 2026 right now. So 20 years ago, it was 2006. 2006, actually, this month, it was June 25th, 2006, that me and a former friend of mine, we moved from Chicago, left home for the very first time, moved out of my childhood home, the only home I ever knew, and we moved 2,000 miles to Los Angeles, where I stayed for 15 years. And that was 20 years ago. Now, granted, there were no bugs involved with that, thank God. But then 10 years later, 2016, that's when those bed bugs happened. And the apartment that I was in at that time, I was in that apartment for a long, long time. and I really only stayed there for a lot of conveniences. It was under rent control. So, I mean, rent was never really raised high ever, and all my
Mm.
utilities were included, which apparently was a red flag that I didn't know about, but it was. And it was time for me to get out of that apartment, go to a better one. But because I didn't necessarily listen to my intuition right off the bat on it, and I would just stayed there out of the sake of comfort, that's where the bed bugs came in, and that's where that story happens. But it moved me into a much better apartment, a much better situation, which is where I stayed for like the final 5 years that I lived in LA before leaving LA. And ironically, as I'm going through all the stuff here and now that I know about, I found out that the property manager of the very last apartment that I lived in LA, which was a wonderful apartment, and she took such good care of it. Unfortunately, she did pass. And now I'm just like, well, crap, that building is going to go to shit now. Because she
Hopefully
really,
not, but she's special. She sounds like a special lady.
she
Yeah.
was. She held it down. She held the fort down. I hope it doesn't, but just knowing how apartments are and how corporations are, because a lot of corporations own apartments and so on and so forth. Actually, it's kind of funny because even though I'm in Colorado now, the corporation that owns my, apartment complex, they are in LA. So,
Oh,
I can't escape it no matter what I
interesting.
do. Um, but yeah, here we are now 10 years later, 2026, and it's not the bed bugs, but it's the Donalds, AKA the roaches that I'm dealing with. But, yeah, it's it's time to move on. It's time to close that apartment chapter of my life finally and become a homeowner, which is exciting and, like, definitely I wanna do that. I'm bursting at the seams honestly here anyways, just with life and business and dogs and everything else, and I need a space where I can grow into as it is. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that expansion. At the same time, it's nerve-wracking because I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's intimidating.
Well, exactly. You've outgrown the space and you're ready to make room for more.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful, but it is the new is scary and the like unknown is scary, but it's also so exciting. I'm so happy for you. I think a few months ago we talked about you manifesting a house, right? So I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah. It's happening
I
now,
think
so
that's really cool. I'm interested. I'm gonna do some research, archive research in our
look back
episodes
at
and
her.
just see. Well, because I think it was like, was your fourth house Pisces?
Yes.
Is that your fourth house? Okay. So we
Yes.
had a new
My f
moon in Pisces a few months ago,
Yeah.
March 18th. Okay, let's look when the full moon is.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, "When was that?" Before all the red flags of Aries came out.
August 28th.
Okay,
So
okay.
the full moon is August 28th. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah. Actually, this August 28th, that will be during Body, Mind, Spirit Denver. So, yeah.
Well,
Okay, Ron's gonna be right back. He's taking care of the doggy. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's what's happening on my end. Tomorrow, I actually am meeting with my realtor, and we are going to sign the contract officially for her being my person, my realtor, so we can do home showings and all that good stuff. So that's happening tomorrow, and we have already talked about it. I don't know how the process goes. I don't know what the timeline is, but we are going to apply to be on House Hunters on HGTV. So if we get
that's so
accepted
cool.
and they decide to follow us around with the camera, I will of course let you guys know so you can tune in when that episode airs if that happens. So but
That'd
we're
be
gonna put it out there.
so that'd be so cool. I could totally see it. You like you're a great candidate. Like,
Thank you. Yeah, well I feel like I
yeah.
have a unique story to share, and they always want to know like, "Oh, what's kind of leading
What
you
are you
towards
looking
the
for in a house?
yeah,
Why? Like, what's your
exactly.
story?
So,
Yeah,
from what I
very cool.
understand of their process, they spend 50 hours recording you, as you go and explore houses, which like, even though on the show they only have people seeing 3 different houses, one of them, of course, being the one that you eventually choose, I'm sure they'll film us seeing many more than just 3 and probably choose, like, out of the 2 that are not chosen, they'll probably choose, like, the 2 most interesting or unique probably out of whatever it is that we see. Um,
Mhm.
so we'll see. But, yeah, they follow you around for 50 hours on your house hunting journey, and you get paid $500 for it. So I can put that towards closing costs.
Perfect. Perfect. And
Yeah.
oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a whole new journey here, which I'm looking forward to. Because right now, I mean, everything looks cozy and comfortable here, but I am my fridge is right over there, and my pantry is right over there. So,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
It's
not
not
being
ideal.
in this, like, little pop-up space, like, actually have a room dedicated for tarot tales and doing readings and recording music and all that stuff, like an actual room.
I love it. That's so exciting. And you deserve it. Like, you deserve it. You deserve your own home. You deserve your own space. It's
Yes,
time. And I love
and
that eighth
not
house movement.
not shared walls with other people, like, that's the big thing because when you have situations like bed bugs or roaches or whatever else that happens in multifamily dwellings, those are the things that happen. You get other people's problems. And
Mhm.
that was something that my mom and I talked about as well because it seems like I'm always like the smoking gun when it comes to these situations because, like, the leasing office, they're like, "Oh, no one else has reported this problem, blah 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 blah."
That's happened to me and Philip before. Like, where
Right.
they're like, no one else, you're the only ones in the building, and you're like, well, you can take a look at my sink. They're coming out of my sink.
Right.
Like, it's like, yeah,
Exactly. Like, and
yeah,
that's the thing. Like, my property manager, she came here to look at it because, like, I kept reporting it over and over and over again. Like, I'm not crying wolf here, okay? Or I'm sorry, crying roach. I'm not, like,
yep.
I'm not just making this up. Believe me. Like, of all the things in the world to make up, I would rather say, "Oh, I'm infested with butterflies," like
Butterflies.
like, come on now. Um, but yeah, like, my mom was like, "Oh, you seem to be, like, the chosen one when it comes to this," which there are other things I would rather be chosen for than this. But it makes a lot of sense though, because it's like if you are intuitive, if you're an empath, if you are just like connected in, it's like when you're doing readings, when you're having conversations with other people, you are already like absorbing other people's energy. So it's like imagine taking those giftings and it's like even if you're not like purposely dialing it up and dialing it in, just like your natural energy and your natural giftings are still going to be dialing it up. And then you're going to be tapping into everyone else's problems, not just emotionally or mentally, but even quite physically that is around you.
Mm,
Because that's the thing. It's like these bugs, they are other people's problems. It's absorbing other people's energies and other people's traumas and problems coming into your space. So for me, this was like a very well clear defined thing of like, I not only need a house, but it's just like whatever I get, it really does need to be standalone. It needs to be single family. Like, because I know, some people are like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get a condo," or, "I'll get a townhouse or a duplex." And sometimes getting, like, a townhouse or a duplex, it's like, "Oh, I get, a little bit more space than what I have now," but, it's not as crazy or whatever. And I understand you may save some money doing that and everything too, and to each their own, to whoever who does decide that route. People need to do what's best for them, but that's not best for me because I I cannot share walls with people. I just can't.
Well, it's a lot of energy too. Like whenever I've lived in apartment complexes, it's just like a lot. Like I used to
Mhm.
do protective Reiki on the walls. I would seal our walls with Reiki and like energy because like I would have crazy dreams and crazy like when I first started opening up my third eye, doing mediumship, practicing, I was getting crazy stuff and then I realized, okay, I need to seal the
Mhm.
energy of my walls because
Yeah,
there is just so much here. Like, and especially if you're opening yourself up, right? It's that cleansing, that like understanding of energy and how it works and protecting, like to be honest. And yeah, I think it's important. Absolutely.
totally.
And I think sometimes it's hard to do that in a like when there's so many people around. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
it's fantastic. Yeah.
I'm literally surrounded, because there's somebody on that side of me, someone new just moved in upstairs, and the week that I was dying from my jaw, especially the night
Mhm.
that it was really inflamed there, I mean, I thought I was going to go to the emergency room, it was so bad, I never experienced that kind of pain in my mouth before, um, but yeah, like, somebody moved in up there, they have a dog. I don't know what the dog was going through, but it was like 4 AM. I couldn't sleep because I'm in pain. The dog is upstairs just barking nonstop. So,
Mm.
it's like somebody's up
You're
there. I
like,
know.
oh, both of us.
Right. That's what I was
Yeah.
like, maybe the dog knows. It's like, does the dog's jaw hurt? I was like, I don't know. But yeah, someone's up there, someone's down there. Which, and I can't tell you how many times I've told the office, I'm like, "Will you please check him downstairs? Because wherever it's coming from down there. It's not coming from up there. It's coming from down there." Um, and there was someone on that side of me, but I just noticed that those people moved out. So at least that side
Right.
is empty for me right now.
Mhm.
So the only way I know
Yeah.
that is whenever somebody moves out of one of these units, they leave the lights on, like, all the time in the entire unit. So, if it's, like, nighttime and I go outside with Shadow and Tinkerbell, it's just like, I look up there and I'm like, "Oh, all the lights are on in there." And then they also used to have a hummingbird feeder out on their,
Mhm.
patio, and I noticed the hummingbird feeder was gone. I was like, "Oh, why'd they take down the hummingbird feeder?" And I was like, "Oh, they just don't live there anymore."
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like I think it's great that like it's great that you know that about yourself and that like you've lived this life of apartment life for many years
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's time. It's time. And it's so cool how on the nose astrology is, especially with your eighth house, like with that Jupiter transit. It's
Yeah,
amazing. And it's at the tail end of it, right? It's kind of at that tail end of
it
the
is.
transit.
It's gonna be moving out of there soon, and another thing that's interesting too, and I literally just, like, looked this up earlier today before we went live, because I saw a TikTok about somebody talking about the vertex in your birth chart and how the
Yes.
vertex it's not something that is you like your personality or something that you make happen. It's like fate. It's fated experiences, encounters, uh connections, whatever it is that just happens, it just comes into your life. There's nothing that you can do to manipulate the vertex from doing what it does. And I don't think about the vertex very often because I don't consider it like a major player, obviously. But I was like, let me double check where my vertex is. And guess where my vertex is? Natally, it
Where?
is in Cancer in my 8th house.
That
So,
makes
mhm,
a lot of sense.
it does.
That's amazing. Like the
Yeah,
vertex, I was just it's funny you bring it up because I was looking into that too. We must have the same like TikToks coming across our feed or something.
like
But
squatters, my
um
newest fear.
yeah, God, I saw that too. Um Stay out of my walls. Stay out of my
Right?
walls.
I was like, as soon as I decide to start the house hunting journey, TikTok's like, "Oh, you're gonna get a house? let me show you horror stories of people who go on vacation, come home, and find a squatter in their house. I'm like, oh my God, new fear unlocked. Why are you showing me this? Yeah,
TikTok just knows.
I
Um,
know.
my birth. Well, it's funny. Like the eighth house makes a lot of sense, especially with what you've gone through in your life too.
Oh, yeah.
It's a deep transformation, and a lot of like I know Pluto. You always have like
Oh,
you and
yeah. Me
Pluto
and
have these
Pluto.
like
Yeah. Well, natally,
and
my moon and my Pluto are conjunct one another. So it's like no matter what I'm dealing with in life, that's always going to be a factor. Like for example, when my mouth was inflamed at that time, after the fact, after I was like able to breathe, not being in severe pain anymore, I was like, let me go back and look at my transits when that was going on. I want to see if there was anything that would signal that kind of pain happening at that time. And sure enough,
Mm,
transiting Mars was opposing my moon and my Pluto that are conjunct one another natally, anyways. So I was like, oh, that's what it was. That's why I was in all that pain. So,
yeah, isn't it something, right? And I'm just looking. My vertex is Scorpio in the fifth house. So
oh,
through it make it's taking risks. I like that. Like I think it's like fated encounters,
but it's
meeting people. Like it's like relationship and
transformative because
children
it's in
possibly.
Scorpio. Yeah.
So it's very interesting, but it's like and like creativity, like
Yes.
transformation through creativity, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense, and
Children,
especially like the significant. Well, and it rules
romance.
children as well.
Yeah.
Romance, expressing yourself, the shadow side.
Yeah,
Like
creativity for
it's
sure.
but when I go through something, my mom always said this. My mom was like, when you go through something, you feel it. Like she's like, you like completely like lean into like the pain, the whatever.
Mhm.
Like when, and even
Yeah.
as a kid, I felt all of the feels and like it felt like everything felt like a big deal. Like transfer,
Right.
like I'd meet somebody or I'd go on a date with somebody or I would, like do a creative project and I would put my all into it and like it would like, I was like oh like it's just like deeply
Yeah.
transformative but my vertex that makes sense like it's everything felt bigger than it was but it was
Yeah.
big because it was transformative yeah
I think that's interesting because in a weird way, even though our placements are different, there are parallels there because mine is in the 8th house, but yours is in Scorpio, and traditionally, Scorpio rules
hmm
the 8th house. So there's deep transformation there for both of us. Like, definitely on that
yes
emotional side.
hmm
So, yeah.
absolutely oh I love astrology I love learning
Yeah.
about it it's just there's always so much to learn right like I see people with TikToks just about the 12th house, just about like the fifth. Like
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
that's
You
like
could talk
it's
about
like
the 12th house
you could
forever.
niche down. You could
Yeah.
niche down so easily in any the vertex. You could niche down in that, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's amazing.
There's
There's so
so
much.
many things you can get into with all that, but yeah, I mean, astrologically, a lot of this stuff definitely makes sense. It definitely aligns. Um, so yeah, it's been an interesting time, but I'm happy to bring my house hunting journey here to you guys and explore houses. We're in this together because, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I will say this much: I'm happy I'm in Colorado because out of all of the states here, Colorado has some of the lowest property taxes, so I'm very happy about that.
Exactly. That's beautiful. That's a
Mhm.
great thing.
Oh, definitely a great thing, so, yeah. But, yeah, that's been the journey for me, for sure. I'm excited for Shadow and Tinkerbell to actually have a backyard, a fenced-in little
Mhm.
yard to run and play in, so it'll
It's
be
gonna
good.
be so exciting. Yeah, it's good for them, good for you.
Definitely, without a doubt. So,
Mhm.
so many crazy changes, over the past couple of months, but we obviously have so many ideas of things we can talk to you guys about coming up. A lot of transformation because there's transformation going on. We can talk star seeds, pop culture, pets, so many different things coming up. So, we got lots of stuff here for you. And I do
We
I
do.
do
We do.
I do pay attention to the numerology as well. When I'm, like, looking at certain houses, I'll, like, add up the numbers and then bring it down to that single digit, be just like, "Alright, what's the energy of this house?"
I love like I live in a 7 house. I live in a 7 house
Oh,
right now.
okay. 7s are, very introspective,
Yes, very
very
much so.
introspective.
Yeah.
Those can be challenging. The, it
Mhm.
those 7 houses, very introspective. Some people can feel very isolated in those.
Well, introspective. I haven't had time to be introspective in peace because of all the renovations going on.
Oh, that's
I
true.
live in I have an attached wall and it's been renovations for a year. So, hopefully my new neighbor who moves into the newly renovated place is lovely and wonderful. That's what I'm hoping
Are they
for.
still
But
working on it when you came back?
yes.
No. It's like
Yeah.
you come back in the
So,
door and they're like, "Bang, bang, bang, welcome home."
yep.
Oh
Better now because
god.
I think they're doing like putting in the cupboards, like it's like finer work, like it's not
Yeah.
bang,
Yeah.
bang,
Oh
bang. But
god.
I have videos of just hammering on the walls,
Yeah.
and there was one time they were here till 11:30 at night doing it,
Yeah,
and
that's not normal.
I called housing, I called them, and I was like, hey, 11:30 seems a bit ridiculous
Yeah,
at
that's
night, like.
excessive. For sure.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
god.
but luckily, hopefully, because they told me before I left that should be done in 2 weeks, and it's not done, but it's not as
No.
disruptive. I'll give it that. It's gotten better, but it's not a very introspective house because there's a
No.
lot of transformation going on
Well,
next door.
renovations never wrap up as fast as you think they're going to.
No.
Um, yeah, that's for sure. I know as I'm looking for a house, I don't expect it to be, all newly renovated, brand spanking new looking. Like I'm fine if I have a 90s kitchen. That's fine. I grew up in a 90s kitchen. I can handle it. Like
You can make 90s butter mom content.
right? It's like, it's not a big deal. I can have a 90s kitchen. It doesn't bother me. Honestly, like, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of, like, the all white everywhere thing that is so popular. Like, everyone's like, "I gotta have these white cabinets." And I'm like, "What's
Ooh.
wrong with some wood grain? Like, why is that so
Show all
awful?"
my grubby mitts all over it. Like
Right. I'm like, "No."
anything white, I'm like terrified to have because I'm so like
Yeah,
I just will mess it up. Like to me,
exactly.
no.
No, so I don't need everything to be white. I mean, I realize not everything may be perfect to my exact liking, but the most inexpensive fix to make things the best that I can, at least in the interim, is get some paint. Get some paint and make sure that the walls are the colors that I want, which I already have my color palette in my brain figured out for what I want to do. So I figure a splash of color, making the walls what you want it to be, it can be a whole game changer. So, yeah, definitely. But, it'll be interesting. Where I'm at right now, because I'm in an apartment, um, the numerology is interesting because for, like, the address of the complex itself is a 1. And then the numerology of just my unit by itself is a 6, which I feel like makes sense
Mm.
because, a 1, it's very like independent, singular focused in a sense. And I do feel like for the most part on the entire property, everyone kind of just does their own thing. It's like I don't really know my
Mm,
neighbors. I know they're there. I know they exist, but I don't know them. So, I feel like
mm.
that one energy really exists, and minus the problems in the bathroom, I do feel like the 6 energy is very much so present in my unit because I do keep it like a very nurturing, very warm, very cozy kind of vibe in here.
Mhm. No, I like the number 6. It's always kind of come to me as like the soulmate number,
Yeah.
kind of like nourishment, love, and like Philip and I got married on our 6th anniversary, right? So it's
Yeah.
like that number 6 will always be kind of important. So that's a beautiful number. I grew up
Mhm.
in an 8 house, which I loved. We had a beautiful 8 house.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So transformation?
And like abundance. Like it was just like in a very I had a
Okay.
very good
Yeah.
childhood. Yeah, like
Yeah.
abundance, love. Like my mom was like the neighborhood mom. Like, like she was like always had the best snacks, always like wanted people to have fun in her house. Like I remember my neighbor, like she would like her mom would get into like fights and she'd be like, I'm going to Kelsey's house to see her mom. Like and her mom was like like yeah, but like my mom was just like a very nurturing, giving
Yeah.
empress. Like that's kind of what my mom was in a lot of ways and still
Yeah.
is. She's very giving. So I feel like she always said like she was told her life path was a number 8. So when they saw the
Oh,
house, she was
okay.
like, "Oh, it's an 8." And she was like, "It's an 8 house. Perfect." So, but yeah.
That makes sense. The house I grew up in, this is interesting because we didn't move. It was still the same house, but the house number actually changed while we were living there. So
Interesting.
yeah, because like the house that I grew up in, it was I don't know how to describe it. It was there was like this driveway that was tucked off of the main road. So all of the houses that were down this driveway, which our house was down, all of those houses all had the address of the main road that we were off of, but it was like this gravel road. So it wasn't like a main regular road. It was like this dead end thing that you would go down. And um when my parents first bought that house before I was even born, there was like a vacant lot and then their house and then there were like 2 other houses behind them. And
Mm,
I think the reason why the number changed is, like, later on, by, like, the time I was, like, maybe 10 or something, there was the vacant lot that was in front of us, somebody bought that lot and somebody bought a house on there. So they had to add in a new number there, basically, and I think that's
mm,
what shifted, like, all the
right.
numbers changed.
Of course. That would make
Right.
sense. Yeah.
So, yeah, because 'cause I'm like, I think that's what did it. Because 'cause I'm like, I don't necessarily remember, it was so long ago. Um, but yeah, so before that house existed, we were in a one house, and then once they built their house, it turned into a 9 house. So that's definitely, like, a huge
Interesting.
energy shift.
Oh, oh, like incredibly, like you're coming to the end of the cycle. Like the
Yeah,
one, you're beginning that, it's a new beginning, fresh beginnings.
yeah.
And then that 9 is like closing out a cycle. 9 can be rough. Like 9 can be a hard like number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think that makes a lot of sense because I mean, like I said, my parents bought that house before I was born, and
Mm,
when they bought that house, I think that the house was you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna go to Zillow right now to find out when that house was built. Let's find out when it was built. I know who owns it now. Let me see. Uh, uh, uh. Let me put in the address here. There we go. Yeah, I know the house has been sold. Thank you. I just wanna see when it was built, which I'm sure it's gonna share here. It's also telling me how much it's worth. When were you built? Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So my parents bought my childhood house in 1976 and it was built in 1975. So
Okay.
whoever they bought it from, like they didn't have it very long. I don't know, like they didn't have the house built outright for them, like their neighbors did
Right.
who eventually came along later. Um so I don't know whoever it was built, someone must have owned it and then they took it over like a year later. So it was still very much like a fresh start just for them. And then of course later on I came along and so on and so forth and then that other house came along. But it wasn't long after that other house was built and we switched to a 9 that was kinda like when everyone started dying, like, my dad died and everything else, and
I was gonna ask if that's like if it correlated, and
I mean,
wow.
not right
Ooh.
away, cause like I said, I mean, he died maybe, like, a couple of years later after that house was built, so
Um,
it wasn't immediate,
mm.
but it was still, like, all within that same era.
But it was that shift, right? And it takes time for that kind of to happen. I feel once
Yeah,
the nine. How interesting. I
yeah,
got chills
so
up and down
I
my right
kinda
arm.
Kinda went
Chills.
through the whole rainbow array of all of the cycles in that house, which is true. I mean, like I said, that was the house that I was in until 2006 and then went to LA, obviously. And, uh, and yeah, so that's just really interesting. And the other thing is too, when my mom sold that house, because she sold that house in 2015, it was like less than a year before I went through the bed bug thing, and, so she sold the house. There was a couple who bought the house from her, and they only lived in it for, like, 5 years. They basically, um they did some renovating on it. They just did some, like, updating of some things on it, like the pictures I'm looking at right now, like, there was, carpeting, for example, in the living room and stuff, and now it's all, like, wood floor, basically. So just, things like that or whatever. So they updated some things and, basically did their flipping thing. I mean, it doesn't look like, honestly, to me, it doesn't look totally flipped. It just looks updated. Um but they brought it into the 21st century, and then next door to this little strip of road where the houses were, there was a church on the other side of that. And the 2 neighbors that were on the other side of us, um, when those neighbors sold their houses, which were long before I ever left home or anything, the church next door actually bought those houses. They bought those houses to be a
Okay.
part of their church property. So, um, so after that couple who bought the house from my mom were done with their renovating, the church actually bought that house from them. So now my childhood house is owned by that church. So all
Wow.
they own almost all of the houses that are on that little road except for the one in the very front.
Okay. What a life that house has lived.
Yeah, so I
My
feel like that
goodness.
was kind of the full cycle, like, I almost feel like that couple living there was just that, like, that temporary transition.
Transitional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now because it's like my family being there was like a whole life cycle, and now that house is
Yeah.
experiencing a whole new life cycle, but with a church instead of a family.
Wow. So that's interesting. What an
Mhm.
interesting like little side quest we went on with numbers, and but it relates to it
Yeah,
relates to everything. Like the
it
house,
does.
like
It
wow.
connects,
What a
for sure.
story.
Yeah, and that's the other
Mhm.
thing too, is it's just like, yeah, I've spent 20 years in apartments. I've basically spent half of my life in apartments, and when I first moved out, like, obviously, there's a very different energy when you just move out and you're in your 20s and you're young and you're moving to LA and you're all excited like, "Oh, young Hollywood, blah, 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 blah." Like, that's a totally different energy than where I'm at now in my life. Like, I am definitely not in that same space. I mean, we're talking speaking of Spencer Pratt, we're talking about 2006. We are talking about the height of the hills. We are talking about moving to LA and going to Ladue, okay? That's the kind of energy we're talking about. That's what I was ready for back then. Today, do I wanna go to Ladue? No. I
Me
really
neither.
don't.
In 2006, though, I was 12. So I was like
You were
reading
a
the
bit
magazines.
young to go to Ladue.
But I knew who Spencer Pratt was. I knew who Heidi Montag was. I
Right.
watched some. I didn't watch The Hills, but like I did know of them. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I didn't just, like, watch it, but it's just, like, you could be, like, out having a day and you would see, depending on where you were, "Oh, there are the camera crews and blah, blah, blah," and
yeah. They're old. They must be filming down the block or whatever. And
exactly. It's like there's
we
always
yeah,
something going on. But, yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
I remember.
that was my
Sorry, go
era,
ahead.
It's like the
Yeah,
era of The Hills and Paris and Lindsay and Brittany and the Kardashians and all like, that was all the thing when I moved
yep,
there and everything, my very early days in LA, and I am definitely not in that energy anymore. And I just wanna be, like,
yeah.
settled in my own home, in my own space, and, um, it's just security, safety, like, nothing like, I don't feed off of the drama. Back then, I was more than happy to engage in the drama. Like, I don't want that
Oh,
now.
in my early 20s, I was like absolutely. I was a different person.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I'm saying. I look at that and I'm like, "Nope, I that does not appeal to me at all." Back then, it made sense, but, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Now I'm in my 40s, and I'm ready to be settled in a house and have that security, and when I look at, like, my childhood home right now, it's like, even though I had the past 20 years in apartments and living in chaos and being, exposed to so many different types of energies. I remember what it was like having safety and security in a single family home because I did have that for the
exactly.
first half of my life. That was my childhood. That was my teenage years. That was like the
Mhm.
very, very early years of adulthood before I made the leap to LA. Like, I remember that safety and that security and that privacy that came with that, and I crave to return to that now.
I'm so happy for you. I'm
Yeah.
beyond happy for you. And as much as you've gone through it the last month and the
Ugh.
last few months,
Ugh.
I'm really happy that there's like a really big silver lining here. A really
Yes.
beautiful movement forward. But as we talked about, that transformation is not possible without a little bit of soul searching, a little bit of how do we put it? Some rough waters sometimes, right? We go through
Oh,
things and we
absolutely.
learn and we grow. So good for you, my friend.
Yes.
Yay!
And from now on, instead of clenching my jaw, because I don't believe I grind. If I were to grind, I think my
I do.
dentist would have caught that earlier. But yeah, I don't believe I grind, but I do have my new friends,
Yes.
my new
Your
squishy friends.
unboxings.
Yes. The dumpling craze. I don't know if you guys have seen, like, the dumpling craze, but I have my new friends here to squeeze and squish instead of squeezing my jaw. So,
It's perfect. Yep.
yes,
It's like a
indeed.
little stress relief.
They do. They help. They feel nice. So, in fact, I ordered a couple. This is
I'm
so
glad you
bad.
found something to
I
help.
ordered a couple more things off TikTok Shop before we went live. So, not
I guess
dumplings.
we will find.
Yeah, there's gonna be unboxings coming, but not dumplings, but I ordered, like, a big strawberry squish and a big butter squish. So,
Cute
yeah,
strawberry and butter squish.
I'll have to
I
have,
love it.
I'll have to have Tinkerbell squeeze them in the microphone for her ASMR channel. So, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Anyways, we have been on for so long. I do want to open up um the chat really quick here. If anyone is interested in getting a live reading from either one of us before we wrap things up here, as we wind down a little bit. So I'm just going to drop that link in the chat right now. But if you are interested in getting a personal reading from myself and Kelsey, you get not just a reading from only me or only her, but you really get feedback from both of us. So it's 2 for 1. It's $20, which is really just $10 a piece, which is a very good deal. But if you're interested in a personal reading, the link is right there right now in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. So if you want a personal reading, the dance floor is officially open. So feel free
Dance
to stop on
floor.
by, make your payment, and readings will be taken in order of payments being received. So, um, but yeah, we'll pull some cards, we'll give you some input, and yeah, otherwise, we're going to just kind of wind down things here. And once again, if you guys have topics or certain things you're curious about that you want us to cover in future episodes for season 2, let us know. And even if you can't think of anything in the moment, that's totally cool. Come back and reach out as the ideas stumble upon your brain.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, we've come up with lots of fun ideas as we were going through the episode.
Yeah, I love that.
Sometimes it's hard to like keep my mouth shut. I'm like, "Oh, I want to tell this story now," but I'm like, just wait.
No, I love that.
Just
Like, that
wait."
gives us more fuel. Some of those things,
Yeah.
I do believe we have, like, written down some of those things, like, in the Google Doc. Like, I think there is stuff about Akashic records and star seeds in there. We just have
Mhm.
to, like, actually carve the plan, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot like I think that there's so much that we could do for topics. Like as we move through life,
Totally.
like I feel like every like when I the last month like 10 topics came up for me. I'm like, "Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
we
god,
talk about
yes.
this, talk about that." Like, yeah. So,
Well, here's
and
here's
like I'm curious.
here's one thing I would like to ask you, Kelsey, as we do wind down kind of on the note of the wedding stuff. Um,
Mhm.
it's June now, so there are a lot of June brides, I'm sure, getting ready for
Mm.
their weddings. Summer in general is a very busy and active time for people getting married. And now that you've survived it, you've been through it, you've buried the sausage, you've done all the things. um, if there are any future brides who are sitting here with us right now on YouTube or tuning in on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, any of those places, if you were to give them any words of encouragement or advice as they're leading up to their big day, what would you say to them?
Oh, it's funny we talked about this the other day and I like sat down after my wedding and I like word vomited on like do Google Doc. I have like 28 lessons. 28.
Oh
So
my
there was a
god.
lot, but I'd say a lot like it's about remember to take care of yourself. Like I know that sounds cliche and like but honestly, I the one thing that I really did throughout my wedding season that really helped me was I kept up, well, I guess two things. I did my meditation every morning. I grounded, I meditated, and I protected my aura. And um, I also went for a walk in nature every single day. So those were two acts of self-care. Like and the walking in nature, like connecting. I was unplugged. I didn't take my phone. It was just wonderful. So remember to take care of yourself and keep up the routines that you have, and remember it's your wedding. And I know, in reality, yes, it is about the people around you. It's about the joining of families. It's about the party. It's about all these other things. But at the core of it, you get to make the calls. And everyone's going to have an opinion. Everyone will. And those opinions oftentimes are coming from good places or, people that wish they had done things differently. But you make the calls. What you want goes. Okay?
Yes.
I want to make sure you remember that. And I think another thing, the last thing I'll talk about, it's not even about like protection or boundaries or anything like that. It's about how you show up in a space. So you can't control how other people act. You can't control how other people are going to, if they drink too much or if they get into a fight at your wedding or if there's weird family dynamics. You can't control that, but you control how you show up in a space. So you are allowed to say, I'm going to remove myself. You are allowed to go party on the dance floor all night if you want.
That's what
You're
you
allowed to,
did.
yes, I was on the dance floor all night. Literally, people were like, how do you have the energy? I was like, it's the adrenaline. Like, I needed to get it out, right? And
Right?
I was overwhelmed. You know what I did? When I would, like, there was a moment where I was just overwhelmed. It was too much. I went and sat beside my grandma at a
Oh,
dinner, and then I was able to just have a chat with her and me. And you know what? I didn't talk to too many other people. I waved and said hi, but I was like, you know what? I need some grounding. I need some memories to be made. And I went and talked to my grandma, who's 90. Gosh, she's 91 now, going on 92.
wow.
Actually, she just turned 92. My goodness, she just turned 92. So
That's
um,
amazing.
it was valuable. So that's what I say. Connect with the people who matter with you and control how you show up, and you get to make that call.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Sounds like a lot of delegation, which you can definitely apply learning those traits into other areas of life. And so much of that sounds it sounds so cliche, but it sounds so much like the whole, fill your own cup, if it's an airplane, put your mask on first kind of stuff. A lot of self-care stuff that we kind of just forget about.
Well, self-care, and like sometimes like you get decision fatigue. Like when you talk about delegation, we talked about this during our coffee the other day, but
Yeah.
absolutely knowing when to delegate to people, like lean on like the people in your wedding party, the people around you should be able to lean on and say, "Can you make this call? Can you, the DJ has a weird question or like this like the venue like
Right.
wants to know this." And I'm like, and honestly, I was good up till about the day before, and then my brain just like, ooh, exited.
Right.
Like, and
It
so
was just
being
mush
able to
at that
say,
point.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, Ron says you can't control others, but just how you react,
That's
right? You
true.
can't. You can control how you react and you control how you show up in a space. So,
Honestly,
yeah, and delegation. Yeah.
the decision fatigue, it sounds like a Libra nightmare.
Oh, it was honestly, and I'm pretty good, like, I'm pretty clear and I'm pretty focused, but, yeah, that went out the window. Like, I was like I straight up told, like, the manager of our venue, she was asking me questions, and she was so kind, and they were, like, legit questions, like, and I was like
Yeah.
and I just looked at her and I was like, "I'm sorry, I just don't have it in me to answer these questions. Could you talk to my matron of
Oh.
honor?" And I was like, "I'm so
Oh.
sorry. I was
Yeah.
like, I honestly," and she was like, "Oh, I'm like, I get it. Like, I get it." Like,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
was the night before, I was just like, but they were good questions. There were things that need to be answered, but I gave her their numbers, and she was able
Yes.
to sort that out with her because she wanted to know where she wanted to meet us. Like that sort of like very good questions, but I was like, I won't remember. Like, but that delegation and
Oh.
knowing when to say to release control and say, I trust you. I trust you to
Yeah.
make this decision for me. Yeah,
Totally. That makes
absolutely.
sense. Well, I hope that that helps some brides out there. So listen up, you guys. If you're getting
Yes.
married, this is vital survival bridal boot camp.
Bridal boot camp. Maybe I'll make an oracle deck on
Oh, that'd
surviving
be
the
kinda
wedding season.
cool,
Like
yeah. I
that'd be
love that.
fun, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think I'm at the point where, don't get me wrong, I would love to have, like, the princess dress and all that kinda stuff, but I don't wanna go through all that if I find the right person and get married or anything. It'll probably be like fly by night, like Britney Spears' first marriage kind of style.
Vegas chapel.
Right? Just.
I actually you know what, the week before, I was like, you know what, a chapel wedding sounds great right
Right.
now. But
Just
honestly,
elope.
it was beautiful. It was beautiful, but I hear ya. I
Yeah. I feel
hear ya.
you know, I feel like if anything, be just like, "You know what? I You can run out anywhere and find, like, a fancy, beautiful white dress. I can still make myself look like a princess and just do it overnight. It doesn't have to be some big over the top, I have to accommodate the world kind of a thing."
Well, and when I talk about marriage, like we talked about, like Monica from Friends, like that quote of like, I want a
Yes.
marriage, right? It's
Yeah.
I like, and that's what it's about. And when I asked Philip, like, hey, has anything shifted for you? Like, and because I said honestly, for me, it's like not really, because we've been together for so long, but it's a beautiful commitment. They're like, I think we're still discovering the shift, right?
Yes.
But he
Yes.
just was like, I always knew I wanted to be with you forever. So it's like, yeah, like it's
Right.
like I'm happy that it's happening. Like,
Right. It's like now it's like there's just the official paperwork, yada yada. That kind of
Mm,
thing. If anything, you guys will probably feel more of the shift once the puppy comes into the picture.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking. The
'Cause
shift
she's gonna
into
be like
parenthood.
right now it's just like the 2 of you, and you guys already know each other's energy and how you guys exist and move together, but then the puppy is gonna bring in this whole new element of energy, a lot of energy,
Mhm.
but at least you won't be moving across country with her within the first month and having diarrhea all the way along the interstate like I went
Yeah.
through.
I think we covered that like in an episode. I think at the end,
Yeah,
Might remember. Ron might remember
we
that
did.
episode of
It was,
poop talk.
diarrhea all the way down Interstate 80 with Tinkerbell.
Oh,
It was not pretty.
she had a
Oh, that
nervous
was not
tummy.
fun. Yeah, but obviously she's okay now, she's fine. That was in the
Mm,
early days, so we're all good, and we've traveled that route a ton of times since then, and she's a pro. She's fine in the car now, so
that's
yep,
awesome.
Ron does remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of diarrhea. It just probably will be in the house because, again, she's a puppy.
Oh yeah.
So,
Like I'm prepping myself. I'm like, yep, all the
get the potty
things, all
pads
the
ready.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
potty pads, puppy
Yeah.
proof, all the things.
Mhm. Yeah, because I have all these crystals downstairs, and Philip was like,
Oh my
we need
gosh,
to
yes.
rearrange these. I was like, yeah, like so I rearranged them. So
Yeah,
yeah, we're
put them up
starting to
high.
puppy.
Put them up
Yeah,
high. No,
because it
nowhere
just
she can
little
reach.
nose just goes in. Yeah,
Yeah, and she's probably gonna pick one of those things up. Be just like, "Oh, this is a toy for me, right?"
she's a retriever. It's built
Yeah,
into her. Yeah,
definitely.
a
Oh,
crystal. I pick
definitely.
it up. I bring to mom. I bring to mom.
At least you can hopefully train her to put her toys away. Tinkerbell just
Yes, we
takes
talked about that.
yeah, she just take they have these 2 big bins full of toys, and she just goes up to them. She can reach up to the top of them. She'll pull a toy out, run off with it, play with it for a couple minutes, drop it, and leave it, and that's it, and this cycle repeats all the time, and she goes back and gets another one.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Yes, but she's royalty. So
she is.
why
She's
would she even
royalty.
do that?
No.
She's
Yeah.
royalty.
Shadow doesn't really do that. Shadow, he would rather just, like, get down on his haunches and, like, chase you and play. He's like, "I don't care about the
Yeah.
toys. I just want you to chase me."
Yeah.
So,
Some dogs, yeah, they're all
mhm.
different. And Ron says his dog doesn't like toys.
Interesting, interesting. Yeah, every dog is different. I think about my mom's dog, Callie, and first of all, she's not allowed to have the toys that are soft, plush, like, squishy ones that squeak because she will destroy them. She will mutilate
Yeah.
them because, like, even though she's a mutt and she has a lot of things in her, she has a lot of dachshund in her personality.
Oh,
So
wow. Yeah.
dachshunds, they burrow, they they will go in and destroy things basically. So she will destroy things. Like this was a few years ago during Christmas time. We saw this toy at PetSmart where it was literally designed to be destroyed. It was this like big round plush ball with like a squeak in the middle, and there was like another toy inside the center of the ball. So the intention was for the dog to actually destroy the plush part to get to the toy in the center, and she destroyed it within minutes. Like,
Oh,
she is so destructive when it comes to those things. So the only toys that she can handle are, like, the really, really hard ones that
like the heavy duty rubber ones?
yeah,
Like,
heavy
yeah.
duty rubber. Her favorites are honestly Kongs. She loves Kongs,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
she's very good at playing by herself because, she doesn't understand playing with other dogs. Like, Shadow will try to get
Mm.
her to play, and she doesn't get it. She's like she'll just stand there and she'll be like, "Duh, what are you doing? I don't understand. What is
Right?
this?" I don't think she was socialized very well as a puppy or something with other dogs. I think that's part of the problem. But, um but yeah, she'll take her Kongs, and she has, like, this little doggy mat that my mom got off of Etsy, and she'll take her Kongs, and she will bury her own Kong under the mat, and that will be her little game that she'll play with herself, and then she'll be like, "Oh, I hid my Kong, now I have to try and find my Kong." So,
Oh.
yeah.
She plays in her own way.
She does. She's very good at playing by herself, honestly.
That's adorable.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah. Kelly's a good girl. But yes, I I think we're gonna wrap things up though. I mean, we've been hanging out here for like 2.5 hours, but we've had a
I
lot to
guess,
catch
yep.
up on. It's been,
Mhm.
over a month since we've been gone, but we're
Mhm.
so excited to bring things back. Um, I know one of the bonus episodes I was thinking about doing was doing some astrology instruction. Um, I think it's a good thing that I wasn't able to do that, not just because of everything that I was dealing with personally, but I just don't know how to bring that in the form of a podcast episode, especially for those who are listening strictly through audio, because so much of learning astrology is visual, where you have to see a chart, you have to see the houses, the planets, you have to see the glyphs, all those different things. And unless if you don't have the visuals for it, it's going to be really hard to break it down without that. So, as much
I
as I would
agree.
love to
Yeah.
bring that to you guys, I think I'm keeping that in mind as like a future course or something,
Mhm.
because it's also a lot of work that goes into teaching people astrology. So I feel like that is something I will probably have to put behind a paywall. But if you're interested in it, it is something that I can work on. And it is something that will be broken down with all the visuals, with all the details. Also, not everyone who turns into to tarot tales may want a full blown let's learn astrology thing. People may be tuning in for other reasons as well. Um, so it's probably a good thing that that didn't happen, but I think it will happen in a different format.
Mhm. No, I agree. I'm with you. It's a lot of yeah, it's good. It'll be good content, but it'd be very hard content to get across, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
in this format specifically, for sure.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, it needs to be a course, a future course by Shadow and
Yes.
Shine.
But we have so many things happening here, obviously. So, um, obviously, you guys have heard us brainstorm a lot of ideas for topics in the future that we're going to be bringing you in season 2. So, again,
Mm,
if you have any ideas of things that you guys want us to get into, you guys want us to discuss, let us know anytime. We are all ears, but we are so happy to be back.
we are happy. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll wrap things up here then for today. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. And as always, if you're interested in personal readings with myself or Kelsey, you can find us both at shadowandshine.com as well as soullightaffirmations.com. So please feel free to check us out there. But we'll be back here on YouTube next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And this episode specifically will be up on Friday on all of the other podcast players, as it always is. And we're back to our regular scheduled program.
Back at it. Woohoo. Here's to
Yes.
season 2.
Yes. Oh, got to get my drink. Cheers.
Oh, wait.
A
I have my
toast.
Perrier. Give me a second.
There we go. A toast.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, there we
Season
go.
2. Here we go. All right.
Ah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Yes. Thank you, Ron. We're so glad that you were able to join us here for the season 2 premiere. We missed hanging out with you. But yeah, we will see you guys next week. So until then,
Next week.
bye, guys.
Bye.